nor Telegram has given out an official statement on the step being taken, but we understand that worldwide Apple has pulled, in fact, Telegram from its application stores. We understand existing applications will not be impacted, so anyone who has downloaded Telegram already in their phone will not get impacted, but otherwise you will not be able to download Telegram from iOS stores anymore. So it's a big step against Telegram being taken by Apple. Of course, the reason will come out in a short while from now, but as of now, no official word has come in from either Apple or Telegram regarding the removal of a Telegram worldwide from its stores.
All right, thanks a lot, Rishita. Keep track of all the developments. In this case, we'll come back to you as more details emerge. But specifically, this is for the iOS, not for Google Play Store, that we are getting to know initially where it has been blocked. It has been blocked. All right, viewers, it's time to slip into a short commercial break, but don't go anywhere, because coming up next, parliamentary panel demands stricter safeguards for Meta platforms, asks Mark Zuckerberg to personally apologize.
कुछ तो सस्ता लो,
सब बढ़िया लो।
इसमें क्या खास बात है?
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
In the India Today Best Universities Survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi, and National Law School Bengaluru.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट, ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
अगर मैं जेनजी की भाषा को बोरो करूं, then I will have to say Modi ji clocked it and provided a legislative solution.
आपको समझना है तो आप घर जाके गूगल पे आप सर्च कर लेना है क्या नारा है। वो नारा देते थे वास्ते गुने हुइयां, और वो नारा देते थे इतने प्यार से, इतनी खूबसूरत तरीके से इस्तीफा मांगते थे। कहते थे, जब आपसे इस्तीफा भी मांगते थे तो कहते थे कुचू पुचू इस्तीफा दे दो, आज हमारा जन्मदिन है।
विपक्ष के आंदोलन को एक समराइज करना चाहूंगा मैं जेनजी के भाषा में। 37 दिन तक तो ये जंतर मंतर नहीं गए, तो इनको MIA हो गया। MIA क्या है? MIA मिसिंग इन एक्शन। तो 37 दिन तक हमने कुछ नहीं किया, तो कुछ तो करना चाहिए। जंतर मंतर तो नहीं जा सकते, तो हम जाते हैं प्रधानमंत्री जी के आवास के सामने और वहां पर जाके आंदोलन करते हैं।
So these are the three categories: student, idiot, and andhbhakt who follows the idiot. Now,
प्रश्न है कि खंड 2 से 5 विधेयकांग बने, जो सदस्य के पक्ष में हाँ गए, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना गए। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष हुआ। खंड 2 से 5 विधेयकांग बना। प्रश्न ये कि खंड 1 अधिनियम सूत्र और विधेयक का पूरा नाम विधेयकांग बने, जो सदस्य के पक्ष में हाँ गए, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना गए। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष हुआ।
जिन लोगों ने विद्यार्थियों के भविष्य के साथ खिलवाड़ किया।
All right, viewers, coming up next, India officially wins the bid to host the 2030 Commonwealth Games. Ahmedabad all set to host the Games.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े, चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
I wake up wearing someone else again. Don't let it slip. I'm losing grip. I don't wanna be safe anymore. Underneath there's a
Finding myself. That's my moment of Sarah.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
We're going to hit them very hard. I mean, I can actually say that because in that, there's very little they can do about it. It was a different group than we're dealing with. They've already apologized. But, you know, we got to smack them a little bit.
The United States has launched airstrikes on Iran hours after President Donald Trump warned Tehran of a strong military response. The strikes mark the first major American attack since Trump paused the bombing campaign last week. Trump had earlier vowed to hit Iran very hard after an Iranian missile attack on an American base in Jordan. Within hours, US forces launched retaliatory strikes, escalating tensions across the Middle East.
We're going to hit them very hard. I mean, I can actually say that because in that, there's very little they can do about it. It was a different group than we're dealing with. They've already apologized. But, you know, we got to smack them a little bit. Yeah, I think more so that, yeah, because it was another smaller event. But no, they sent 8,000 mile-an-hour missiles at us. And fortunately, we had our people operating the greatest equipment in the world, namely the Patriot system. Think of it, 5 missiles going 8,600 miles an hour, big ones, coming right at us, and all 5 were shot down. How about that, right? Pretty good. Nobody else could do that but us, yeah.
US forces began launching strikes against Iran.
Jharkhand students announce assembly gherav on August 10. Says protests will continue until all demands over alleged exam irregularities are met. Agitating Jharkhand students begin an indefinite hunger strike today. Pressure mounts on Congress-backed government to act. Parliamentary panel demands stricter safeguards for Meta platforms, asks Mark Zuckerberg to personally apologize.
Mr. Priyank Kharge, this shows the sheer arrogance and the sheer insensitivity and the crooked politics on the issue of student concerns. So the mask was there in Delhi and the real face was there in Bengaluru.
BJP launches a sharp attack on Priyank Kharge over his remarks on students undergoing protests over exam scams in Karnataka. Donald Trump issues a fresh warning to Iran, says the blockade will continue until a deal or total surrender is reached. India officially wins the bid to host the 2030 Commonwealth Games. Ahmedabad all set to host the Games. All right, viewers, let's begin this bulletin with a big breaking news development which we are getting from POJK, where unarmed protesters gathered at Lal Chowk in the heart of Muzaffarabad, the capital of POK, POJK, which came under intense firing by Pakistani Rangers and Frontier Corps personnel at around 4:30 p.m. local time yesterday evening. Now, meanwhile, another video has emerged from the area where security personnel are setting fire to civilian motorcycles in Makri, Muzaffarabad. But look at these visuals. We'll play the nats. Yeah.
ये यजीद की नस्ल के काम देखे, ये अपनी अवाम पे न्याती अवाम पे ये लगातार फाइट कर रहे हैं। ये जख्मी इनको इसी टाइम इसको एक को गोली लग गई है। ये देखे लगातार इनके बगैसों के काम, ये यजीद की नस्ल के काम देखे। यहाँ ये देख ले लगातार फायर हो रहे हैं। ये देखे पीछे हो जाओ अपने आप को बचा के शाबाश। ये देखे लगातार बेगैरत के बच्चों ने, ये देख सकते हैं आप माशाल्लाह से। ये देखें, ये अवाम की हिम्मत देखें। इस टाइम भी ये देखें एक भाई को और मजीद गोली लगी है। ये देखें यहाँ, ये देख ले लगातार फायर हो रहे हैं। ये देखें पीछे हो जाओ अपने आप को बचा के शाबाश। ये देखें लगातार बेगैरत के बच्चों ने, ये देख सकते हैं आप माशाल्लाह से। ये देखें, ये अवाम की हिम्मत देखें। इस टाइम भी
All right, so this is the situation, ladies and gentlemen. The protesters are being shot at. Many were killed. The full magnitude of the intensity of the crackdown by the brutal Pakistani terrorist regime is also not out. And look at this terrorist. This is the Pakistani Ranger, more violent than the terrorists across the globe. And he's setting the motorcycles on fire, the vehicles of the protesters on fire, the vehicles of civilians, innocent civilians on fire. And they are killing them, damaging their property, burning their motorcycles, and then later they will allege that these were the protesters who went on a rampage, and this is the reality of the protest. The protests are peaceful. But this is these are the Pakistani Rangers and Pakistani forces who are burning vehicles, attacking civilians, and then when chaos erupts, then they blame the protesters. And the foreign media also, ladies and gentlemen, it needs to be highlighted that the foreign media has been blocked. Their reportage has been blocked in POJK. Big channels who were reporting from POJK, they have been blocked in POJK so that the real picture doesn't come out. The real images of the brutal crackdown of the brutal Pakistani terrorist regime does not come out. So that's the motive of this Pakistani army of the Field Marshal Asim Munir, and this is a Pak army burning, setting motorcycles ablaze. And let's go to the audio also. We have audio. Let's listen into what's actually happening in POJK.
अपने आप को बचा के शाबाश। ये देखें लगातार बेगैरत के बच्चों ने, ये देख सकते हैं आप माशाल्लाह से। ये देखें, ये अवाम की हिम्मत देखें। इस टाइम भी ये देखें एक भाई को और मजीद गोली लगी। देखें लगातार यहाँ पे फायरिंग हो रही है। ये मुजफ्फराबाद की आपको हालत बता रहे हो, ऊपर अदालत चौक के ये मनाजिर है, लगातार आपको दिखाई जा रहे हो। ये पुलिस की बेगैरत के बच्चे लगातार फायरिंग कर रहे हैं। ये शेर फाइट कर रहे हैं, आप देख सकते हैं। और ये गोलियां लग चुकी है। ये देखें, ये सामने आपके ये गोलियां लग चुकी है। ये यजीद की नस्ल के काम देखे, ये अपनी अवाम पे न्याती अवाम पे ये लगातार फाइट कर रहे हैं। ये जख्मी इनको इसी टाइम इसको एक को गोली लग गई है। ये देखें लगातार इनके बगैसों के काम, ये यजीद की नस्ल के काम देखे।
All right, viewers, we have another big breaking news development. Let's go across to that breaking news development. As per reports that we are getting right now, we're getting to know that several WhatsApp accounts have been placed under review. They have been put under review. So the instant messaging application WhatsApp on Monday has placed multiple accounts, including those in India, under review for 24 hours and blocked all the app features, prompting several affected users to flag the issue through social media. Now, when contacted, a WhatsApp spokesperson said, "We are always working to stay ahead of those trying to abuse our service and ban accounts to help keep other users safe. Now, sometimes we get this wrong, and if we do, we try to fix it as quickly as possible to get people back to chatting." Now, the disruption was highlighted around 8 p.m. When users started facing the issue without any prior warning from the Meta Group's messaging app. So this is the big report that we are getting, where several accounts have been put under review by WhatsApp, and the statement has also come from WhatsApp in this regard, that they do this from time to time to make sure that there's no misuse of WhatsApp. So that's the statement that is coming from WhatsApp in this regard, where we are getting to know that several users have said also that their account has been put under review. Now, when contacted, a WhatsApp spokesperson said that we are always working to stay ahead of those who are trying to abuse our service and ban accounts to help keep other users safe. All right, viewers, let's move ahead to another big breaking news development that we are getting. This of the West Asian conflict. Now, fire erupts after powerful explosions in North Kuwait, where US base is directly hit. As per the claims of the IRGC, the Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, which has attacked a US military base in Kuwait, and the attack was carried out using at least 3 drones. So Iran is attacking US military bases around the Middle East, and it continues to do so. And we have the visuals, exclusive visuals on your television screen, ladies and gentlemen. This is a US base in Kuwait which has been hit. This is the base that was hit, and as per the IRGC is claiming a successful strike at the US base in Kuwait, and they have posted this video, they have released this video, which you're watching exclusively on Republic. Now, IRGC says that they have attacked the US military base in Kuwait, and the attack was carried out using at least 3 drones. So back-to-back drone attacks at this US base in Kuwait, and this is Donald Trump who is saying that talks are underway and that we are hopeful there will be talks, and he's warning Iran, and Iran seems to be adamant on attacking US bases in the Middle Eastern region, and this war has stretched far from what it should have been, and it's now spiraling out of control, have reached a point of no return, where Iran has attacked once again a US base in Kuwait. Visuals exclusive on your television screen, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, used 3 drones, and this attack was carried out by IRGC, and this US base in Kuwait was hit by the IRGC's drones, ladies and gentlemen. All right, viewers, we're getting another big breaking news development, and this is the trouble that the seafarers face in the Strait of Hormuz and Oman. A cargo ship radioed for help off the coast of Oman after being struck on the Hormuz route. Iran has declared off limits. Now, UK MTO reports that the vessel 20 nautical miles northeast of Al-Khasab, Oman, that it had been hit by a projectile. Now, these are the latest developments that we are getting of a ship, the vessel being hit by the IRGC, and a cargo ship has radioed for help off Oman after being struck on the Hormuz route, now which Iran has declared off limits, and UK MTO reports the vessel 20 nautical miles northeast of Al-Khazab, Oman, and that it had been hit by a projectile. So we'll have to wait for the official confirmation on which side claims responsibility for this attack, because many a times it was Iran which has conducted strikes against commercial vehicles, but also America also does that. It has also hit many commercial vehicles when they say that they're not following our orders, that because it's our blockade, it's not Iran's blockade, when Iran claims that it's their blockade. All right, viewers, now let's move ahead and get you all the other international developments now in international wraps. Heavy rain triggered flooding across parts of northern New Jersey as powerful storms swept through the tri-state area. Swollen rivers and overflowing streams forced residents in Westwood to move their vehicles to safer ground, while authorities remained on alert as floodwaters continued to rise. Massive wildfires have broken out in southern Albania, prompting a large-scale firefighting operation involving emergency crews, volunteers and military helicopters. Authorities say extreme heat and dry conditions continue to fuel the flames as Europe battles another intense wildfire season. At least 6 people have been killed and more than 30 injured after a tourist shuttle bus, a motorhome and 2 cars collided in central Italy. The bus was carrying visitors to the famous Marmor Falls as authorities continue to investigate the cause of the deadly crash. Cuba is recovering from its 6th nationwide blackout of the year after another collapse of the country's power grid. Large parts of the island remain without electricity, forcing many residents to sleep outdoors as soaring temperatures and ongoing energy crisis continues to disrupt daily life. We are getting a big breaking news development. Let's go across to that. This is Syed Mohammad Marandi. He says that Iran has no intention of negotiating with the Trump regime. And any act of aggression will be met with an overwhelming and decisive response from the Islamic Republic of Iran. And this is yet another warning of Iran. Iran is not backing down and it is getting difficult for Donald Trump to control the situation. And the war is not in the control of the US military, which is clear. And this is yet another threat, yet another warning by the IRGC, by the Iranian regime, which says that Iran has no intention of negotiating with the Trump regime. Any act of aggression will be met with an overwhelming and decisive response from the Islamic Republic. So that's the warning, that's the threat, and it's clear and it's straight targeting Donald Trump that we are not ready, we are not willing, we have no intention of negotiating with Donald Trump. And any act of aggression will be met with an overwhelming and decisive response from the Islamic Republic. From the Islamic Republic, that is Iran. Iran hits back. No plan to negotiate with Donald Trump. Now, Russia has launched another deadly strike on southern Ukraine, targeting the city of Zaporizhia with guided bombs. At least 1 woman was killed and over 20 people were injured as residential areas suffered extensive damage in the latest wave of attacks. Here's a report.
Russia has carried out another wave of strikes on the southern Ukrainian city of Zaporizhia, dropping 8 guided bombs in 2 separate attacks, according to the Ukrainian authorities. The bombardment has killed 1 woman and has injured at least 21 others. The attack has left widespread destruction, damaging apartment buildings, private homes, vehicles, and a warehouse complex.
Є загибла жінка, на жаль. І ще одну жінку змогли витягнути, її викинули на кришу від зриву, зняли з криші та надали також першу домедичну і відправили до машини швидкої допомоги.
Emergency teams rushed to rescue survivors trapped under debris, while residents described scenes of panic as explosions rocked the neighborhood.
Що пам'ятаю свист, чую свист і бахнуло. І дим, і все.
The latest attack comes as Russia continues its aerial campaign against Ukrainian cities with repeated strikes on civilian infrastructure, keeping communities across the country under constant threat.
But it's time to slip into a short commercial break, but don't go anywhere because coming up next, Telegram has been removed from the iOS App Store worldwide, and neither Apple nor Telegram have issued an official statement yet.
कुछ तो सस्ता लो,
सब बढ़िया लो।
इसमें क्या खास बात है?
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
In the India Today Best Universities Survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi, and National Law School, Bengaluru.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ स्वाद आया?
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
अगर मैं जेनजी की भाषा को बोरो करूं, then I will have to say Modi ji clocked it and provided a legislative solution.
आपको समझ ना आए तो आप घर जाके गूगल पे आप सर्च कर लेना ये क्या नारा है। वो नारा देते थे वास्ते गुने हुइयां, और वो नारा देते थे इतने प्यार से, इतनी खूबसूरत तरीके से इस्तीफा मांगते थे। कहते थे जब आपसे इस्तीफा भी मांगते थे तो कहते थे कुचू पुचू इस्तीफा दे दो, आज हमारा जन्मदिन है।
विपक्ष के आंदोलन को एक समराइज करना चाहूंगा मैं जेनजी के भाषा में। 37 दिन तक तो ये जंतर मंतर नहीं गए, तो इनको MIA हो गया। MIA क्या है? MIA मिसिंग इन एक्शन। तो 37 दिन तक हमने कुछ नहीं किया।
Welcome back, viewers. You're watching Republic TV. This is Shivam Dutt Mehta. Now, the BJP has launched a sharp attack on the Congress after Karnataka Minister Priyank Kharge's remarks on police recruitment aspirants triggered a political controversy. Now, BJP says the comments expose what it calls the Congress anti-student mindset, even as student protests continue over alleged exam irregularities in Karnataka and the JPSC scam in Jharkhand. Take a look.
A political storm has erupted over Karnataka Minister Priyank Kharge's remarks on police recruitment aspirants. Questioned over alleged lapses in the state police recruitment examination, Kharge said he would resign only after aspirants go on a 25-day hunger strike and face lathi charge, referring to the NEET protests.
Let them first 25 days, let them go on hunger strike. Then if they don't control, we will do one lathi charge and then I will resign. Just like how they did for this thing. So if the people who are seeking my resignation should answer, why didn't Mr. Bommai resign when the PSI scam happened? Why didn't Mr. Argagnanendra resign when the PSI scam happened? Yesterday lakhs of people wrote exams and there's a problem only with close to around 120 people.
The remarks have triggered sharp political reactions, with the BJP accusing the Congress of mocking students instead of addressing their concerns. BJP MP Sudhanshu Trivedi said Priyank Kharge's statement exposes what he described as the Congress party's pro-student mask, while claiming its real approach is anti-protest and anti-student.
Now in Karnataka, when their minister, a very important minister, who is also son of Congress President Shri Mallikarjun Kharge, Mr. Priyank Kharge, when he was asked to take the responsibility of the anomalies which were taken place in the veterinary entrance examination and the police recruitment examination, and in a utterly dastardly, insensitive manner, he said that if you want to ask for my resignation, first sit for a hunger strike for 25 days, face the lathi charge, then I can think of tendering my resignation. This shows the sheer arrogance and the sheer insensitivity and the crooked politics on the issue of student concerns.
The BJP also linked the controversy to the examination scam in Jharkhand, alleging that despite student protests, the Congress-backed government has remained silent. The party said students in Karnataka and Jharkhand deserve answers over examination irregularities rather than political remarks. As the controversy intensifies, the debate has now shifted from examination irregularities to the political response towards students demanding accountability.
A major showdown happened yesterday in Parliament over detailing line of action with social media giants like Meta and Google on their compliance with Indian laws, handling of child sexual abuse material and content moderation practices. The Parliament also witnessed a showdown on the issue of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Facebook post being blocked for several hours in India, with Meta attributing it to a technical glitch. However, BJP MP Nishikant Dubey said an apology was not enough and demanded that Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg personally apologize as Parliament signals stricter scrutiny of social media platforms operating in the country. Let's take a deep listen into this in-depth analysis by Niranjan.
So we've had a major showdown in Parliament today with the Standing Committee on IT and Telecommunications meeting with Committee Chairman BJP MP Nishikant Dubey, who spoke to the media detailing the line of action now with the social media giants. We're facing a very serious crisis, especially on the back of the child sexual abuse material scandal that hit Meta. And Republic TV all of last month in July put out details of how Meta, its platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and even social media giants like YouTube continued to flout Indian rules, defy Indian laws, and host and get away with child sexual abuse material. The latest flashpoint, of course, for all these social media giants to be called, they were summoned, they were pulled up by the government and the entire parliamentary standing committee. They included Meta, they included Google, and both Google and Meta, they have questions to answer. And speaking on the meeting that took place today, specifically on the instance of the Prime Minister's post being blocked by Meta in India for almost 5.5 to 6 hours, Nishikant Dubey, who's also the chairman of this committee, said that Meta's apology is not enough. In fact, the stand of the Parliamentary Standing Committee is that Meta global head and the owner of Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, must be made to apologize himself, and that the apology must come from Mark Zuckerberg and nobody lesser than that. So that is one of the big takeaways of the meeting, that India is not going to take that apologies from some low-lying officer in India. They want the apology from Mark Zuckerberg, point number one. Point number two, and this is what is critical, there is something called the safe harbor law that keeps people like Mark Zuckerberg, companies like Meta, companies like Google / their parent company Alphabet, a law in India that keeps them safe. It is called the safe harbor law. Now, what does the safe harbor law do? If you own Meta and if you host content, of course, companies like Meta have been saying that this is third-party content. We are only the platform, but somebody else hosts that content. But that content is on Meta's platform. Through Safe Harbor, let me explain Safe Harbor. The Safe Harbor protection for Meta refers to the legal immunity under Section 79 of India's IT Act. And there are similar acts globally, like for example, Section 230 in the US. Now, what does Safe Harbor protection do? Safe Harbor protection ensures and shields internet platforms like Meta from direct criminal or civil liability for third-party content posted by users. So let's take the case of Meta and the entire child sexual abuse material scandal that is unfolded. Now, what happened, or what continues to happen, even today on Meta, there is pedophilic child sexual abuse material that is easily available. And Meta has tried to blame third-party users, saying that they're not really responsible, but it's users who are putting that up. They've tried to blame algorithms, etc. Now, if India decides to pull back on the safe harbor protection, it means the owners of Meta the platform, and even Mark Zuckerberg becomes liable for criminal action in India. And that is what the government is warning companies like Meta and Google on. That if they don't fall in line, and respect Indian law. Now, why is the government saying respect the Indian law? Because the government is saying that companies like Meta, and this is one of the statements made today, companies like Meta don't respect the Home Ministry, don't respect the IT Ministry, don't respect the nodal ministries, because they think they can get away, like they've gotten away in many other countries. But now there is an increased feeling that safe harbor protection and that shield should be taken away so that they are made to fall in line. So these are some of the two takeaways. One, that they want Mark Zuckerberg himself to apologize. Two, there is an ongoing debate on whether the safe harbor protection should be removed for companies like Meta, just so that they fall in line in India.
Renowned educationist and founder of KIIT, KISS and KIMS founder Dr. Achitya Samanta has been conferred with the 75th honorary doctorate of his career. The honour was bestowed by Maharaja Ganga Singh University in Rajasthan in recognition of his contributions to education and social development. Here's a report.
Renowned educationist and social reformer Dr. Achitya Samanta has been conferred with his 75th honorary doctorate by Maharaja Ganga Singh University in Rajasthan's Bikaner in recognition of his outstanding contributions to education and social welfare. The honorary degree was presented during a special ceremony at the Raj Bhavan in Jaipur by Rajasthan Governor and University Chancellor Haribhau Bagde. The ceremony was held in the presence of Deputy Chief Minister Prem Chand Bairwa, university officials and several other dignitaries. The university said the honour followed an extensive assessment of Dr. Samanta's work through institutions including KIT, KISS and KIMS, which have transformed the lives of thousands through education and empowerment. Expressing gratitude for the recognition, Dr. Samanta dedicated the honour to the memory of his late mother, Nilima Rani, ahead of her 10th death anniversary.
Even as Donald Trump says talks with Iran are underway, Iran denies Trump's claim and attacks the US's Al-Doha base in Kuwait with 3 drones. Coming up next, all details on that and a lot more.
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाई जीरा से MDH का जल जीरा जीरा से
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा.
MDH. I wake up wearing someone else again. Don't let it slip. I'm losing grip. I don't wanna be safe anymore.
Finding myself. That's my moment of Sarah.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार.
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला.
We're going to hit them very hard. I mean, I can actually say that because in that, there's very little they can do about it. It was a different group than we're dealing with. They've already apologized. But, you know, we got to smack them a little bit.
The United States has launched airstrikes on Iran hours after President Donald Trump warned Tehran of a strong military response. The strikes mark the first major American attack since Trump paused the bombing campaign last week. Trump had earlier vowed to hit Iran very hard after an Iranian missile attack on an American base in Jeddah.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Hello and a very good morning. You're watching live this morning on Republic TV. Headlines for the hour. Pakistani forces continue firing at unarmed protesters in POK. Telegram has removed from the iOS App Store worldwide. Neither Apple nor Telegram have issued an official statement yet. Jharkhand students announce assembly gherao on 10th August, says protest will continue until all demands over alleged exam irregularities are met. Agitating Jharkhand students begin an indefinite hunger strike today. Pressure mounts on Congress-backed government to act. Parliamentary panel demands stricter safeguard for Meta platform, asks Mark Zuckerberg to personally apologize. Trump says talks with Iran are underway. Iran hits back saying they have no intentions of negotiating. Viewers, getting the first breaking news of the hour. This is coming in from Syed Mohammad Marandi. He is saying, and I quote, Iran has no intentions of negotiating with the Trump regime. A big breaking news. There is also them claiming, in fact, Mohammad Mirandi also stating that any act of aggression will be met with an overwhelming and decisive response from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard. Also, the Islamic Republic. These are breaking news coming in. Syed Mohammad Mirandi is known for his academia, and also he's saying that Iran has no intentions of negotiating with the Trump regime. Clearly, there's hitting back that is also coming in from the Islamic Republic. Also, any acts of aggression will be met with an overwhelming and decisive response from the Islamic Republic. So, clear-cut and very, very clear response from the Islamic Republic, claiming that Iran has no intentions of negotiating with the Trump regime. Iran hits back and has no plans of negotiating with the Trump regime. This is the breaking news of the hour. And words coming in from Syed Mohammad Mirandi, who took on to the social media and said they are in no mood. Also, viewers, another breaking news. This one is coming from the Trump side. Now, after the diplomatic opening, Trump stated that negotiations are currently underway at the Iran's request. He has outlined a two-phase framework for discussion. First, for a complete reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, and the second is the denuclearization of Iran. And he's also called for a last chance. He's saying that his patience are actually at limits, and this is the last chance for Iran to sign a good document. Now, there is a contradictory stance. These talks, Trump says, are backed by Tehran, but on the other side, it is actually the Iranian side that is saying that the mediations are only going to be taken through the Oman side and no other country. Let's listen to what Donald Trump has to say on the matter.
We're not talking. When you ask me, no, we're not talking, I'll say it. But we are talking right now. We're talking, and we're talking at the request of Iran, backed by Saudi Arabia, backed by UAE, and backed by Qatar in particular, but others also. Many countries called, the leaders of many are friendly with a lot of them, almost all of them, one way or the other, and they all wanted to give this a last chance. This is a last chance. This is not something that, if it doesn't happen, this is a last chance for them to sign a good document. We're not talking. When you ask me, no, we're not talking, I'll say it. But we are talking right now. We're talking, and we're talking at the request of Iran, backed by Saudi Arabia, backed by UAE, and backed by Qatar in particular, but others also. Many countries called, the leaders of many are friendly with a lot of them, almost all of them, one way or the other, and they all wanted to give this a last chance. This is a last chance. This is not something that, if it doesn't happen, this is a last chance for them to sign a good document.
Viewers, getting another breaking news of the hour, where fire has erupted after powerful explosions in the northern of Kuwait. Now, US bases are directly hit. These are claims coming in from the IRGC that the base has been currently hit. Explosions and subsequent fires were reported in the northern part of Kuwait following an aerial attack. The IRGC has, of course, claimed responsibility of the matter, and they are saying they specifically targeted the US military installations, especially they are around where a lot of logistics, a lot of fuel storage and defense grids are kept. And these are coming, according to the IRGC statements, The assault has utilized the explosive-laden drones, and they were aimed at undermining logistics, fuel storage, and defense grids. Now, these strikes also form a part of the tit-for-tat retaliation cycle that is going intensely in the United States' bombardment of the Iranian maritime and coastal assets. These are deeply testing yet fragile state of regional deterrence as the back-channel diplomatic talks are now floated. Now, visuals are from the northern Kuwait, where an aerial attack took place. IRGC has taken responsibility, and they have stated that they specifically targeted the US military installations like the logistics, fuel storage, and defense grids. Visuals on your television screen right now. This is the US base in the Kuwait, which is the northern part of the Kuwait. We also are going to be showing you more visuals. But for now, another breaking news that is coming in. This time it is coming in from a cargo vessel, which the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operation has confirmed that a cargo vessel was struck by an unknown projectile approximately 20 nautical miles off the Al Qasab, which is in Oman. The ship broadcasted a distress call over the VHF channel after being hit. So a new cargo vessel, Iran, has now struck the cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz near Oman. And now it has been confirmed by the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations that it was hit approximately 20 nautical miles northeastern part of Oman. So clearly an escalation is seen around the Strait of Hormuz, while another cargo vessel is struck near the Strait of Hormuz. And Iran has taken responsibility, and Iran has struck the cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz. And this is off limits. Iran has declared that the Strait of Hormuz is off limits, but still the cargo vessel continued to move. And now the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operation has taken responsibility. On your television screen are visuals of the cargo. Right now on your television screen is the cargo ship that was radioed off the coast of Oman after being struck on the Strait of Hormuz and has been declared off limits. The UK MTO, which is the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operation, has taken into the report and has confirmed that the radio ship actually radioed on a broadcast distress call over the VHF channel that it was being hit. All right, viewers, Russia has launched another deadly strike on the southern part of Ukraine, and it has targeted the city of Zaporizhzhia, which is guided with bombs. At least one woman has been killed and over 20 people were injured as residential areas suffer extensive damage in the latest wave of attacks. We have a detailed report. Take a look.
Russia has carried out another wave of strikes on the southern Ukrainian city of Zaporizhzhia, dropping 8 guided bombs in 2 separate attacks, according to the Ukrainian authorities. The bombardment has killed 1 woman and has injured at least 21 others. The attack has left widespread destruction, damaging apartment buildings, private homes, vehicles, and a warehouse complex.
Є загибла жінка, на жаль. І ще одну жінку змогли витягнути, її викинуло на кришу від зриву, зняли з криші та надали також першу домедичну і відправили до машини швидкої допомоги.
Emergency teams rushed to rescue survivors trapped under debris, while residents described scenes of panic as explosions rocked the neighborhood.
Що пам'ятаю свист, чую свист і бахнуло. І дим, і все.
The latest attack comes as Russia continues its aerial campaign against Ukrainian cities with repeated strikes on civilian infrastructure, keeping communities across the country under constant threat.
We was getting another breaking news where an unfortunate incident has been unfolded in the Faridabad area where a teacher was dragged and stabbed inside the school premises. An unfortunate incident where a masked man inflicted approximately 20 knife blows to the teacher. and she was left to die. On your television screen are visuals where the teacher is constantly being stabbed by this unknown assailant who's covered his face with a mask, and he waited for a really long time before he could catch hold of this teacher. He was waiting very patiently. As the teacher arrived, he started stabbing her approximately 20 times, and a staffer also tried to intervene on your television screen, but he was threatened with the knife. The assailant continued to stab her for at least 20 times till he fled away. Now, the victim's husband has filed a complaint in the Sector 58 police station, resulting in a murder case. And local people have kind of found that the name of this person who's stabbing is Amit, whom the police identified for having known Sandhya for about 2 years since she taught in this school in his village. Now, the motive is clearly not understood so far, while it is communicated that Sandhya recently cut off and told Amit to stop pursuing her. And this resulted later that he took out time, waited patiently for her to come out, and then stabbed her 20 times relentlessly while she passed away and unfortunately was killed. She's a teacher, and this is an unfortunate incident that took place in Faridabad. Viewers, 3 key assembly by-polls have delivered a mixed political verdict. Jan Suraj chief Prashant Kishore has scripted a historic victory in Bihar's Bankipur, marking his electoral debut. The Congress has retained the Datia seat in Madhya Pradesh, while the BJP has comfortably held on to its stronghold in Gujarat's Manjalpur. Here's a detailed look at the results. Take a look.
The verdict is out in 3 crucial assembly by-polls, delivering a mixed outcome for the BJP, Congress and Jan Suraj. In Bihar, Jan Suraj chief Prashant Kishore registered a landmark victory in Bankipur, defeating the BJP in what was considered one of its strongest urban bastions. The victory marks Prashant Kishore's first electoral success and opens Jan Suraj's account in electoral politics. In Madhya Pradesh, the Congress successfully retained the Datia assembly seat, defeating the BJP and holding on to one of its most important constituencies. In Gujarat, the BJP retained the Manjalpur assembly seat with a comfortable victory, reinforcing its dominance in the state. The results present a split verdict across the 3 states. While Jan Suraj celebrates a breakthrough in Bihar, the Congress has held firm in Madhya Pradesh. And the BJP has once again demonstrated its strength in Gujarat. Political observers believe that these by-polls could influence the narrative ahead of the next round of assembly elections, especially in Bihar, where Prashant Kishore's emergence adds a new dimension to the state's political landscape. 3 states, 3 contests, and 3 different outcomes, but one clear message: the political battle ahead is only getting more intense.
Viewers, moving on to our next segment where we tell you everything that's making waves in the world of sports with Sports Wraps. Take a look. Mauricio Pochettino is staying on board with the US national team, agreeing to a 4-year contract extension through the 2030 World Cup after taking over in October 2024. The 54-year-old head coach steered the tournament co-host in the round of 16, where their run ended in a 4-1 loss to Belgium. Jammu and Kashmir pacer Aqib Naqvi has entered his first call-up to the Indian national squad as a replacement for Jasprit Bumrah in the upcoming Test series against Sri Lanka. Bumrah was ruled out as he continues to recover from the left knee injury sustained during the ODI series against England. Former Wrestling Federation of India President Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh and ex-Assistant Secretary Vinod Tomar have been cleared of all charges at the Roos Avenue Court. The ruling concludes the sexual harassment case brought through the Singh by a female wrestler during his leadership of the sports body. Chelsea have officially signed former England midfielder Jordan Henderson on a free transfer following his departure from Brentford by mutual consent. The 36-year-old veteran has spent a 2-year contract at Stamford Bridge as the club looks to inject experience into the Xabi Alonso's squad. UEFA has warned FIFA of potential legal actions through Gianni's unsuccessful proposal to sell private investors a stake in future World Cup earnings. In its notice, European football's governing body explicitly instructed FIFA to persevere all relevant documentation and evidences. The English Football Association plans to formally withdraw its support for FIFA President Gianni following his abandoned proposal to sell stakes in FIFA competitions to private investors. The move comes as UEFA threatens legal action and Wales publicly revokes its backing to Gianno's presidency. Indian batter Rohit Sharma hailed former cricketer coach T. Dilip for his role in India's success, crediting him with creating magic within the group and being a workhorse behind the scenes. Dilip's tenure included 2 ICC T20 World Cup triumphs and the ICC Champions Trophy win. He served as India's men's fielding coach from 21 until 2024-25 Border Gavaskar Trophy, returned for 1-year stint during the 25 UK Test Tour, but was not retained after his contract ended. ICC Chairman Jay Shah inaugurated the Tanzania Cricket Arena, the nation's first ICC-approved venue, marking a landmark moment for the sport's growth in Tanzania and across Africa. Congratulating Cricket Tanzania on the achievement, Shah praised the collective effort that delivered world-class infrastructure in the country. Viewers, Mumbai's monsoon had once again exposed the alarming state of civic infrastructure across the city and its surrounding districts. Even after weeks of rainfall, pothole-ridden roads, inadequate maintenance and delayed repair work continue to put the lives of the commuters at risk. Questions are now being raised over the preparedness of the authorities, especially after the repeated claims of pre-monsoon works being completed. As incidents continue to be reported, concerns over accountability and the quality of repair work are growing louder. We have a detailed report. Take a look.
A tragic accident was reported yesterday in Maharashtra's Bhiwandi Thane Road, where a 46-year-old lady lost her life after her two-wheeler skidded into a pothole and got subsequently run over by a truck coming from behind. Speaking to Republic, the village Sarpanch said the road has remained in a dangerous condition for the past 4 to 5 years and no actions have been taken by the authorities so far.
Once again, Mumbai has become the greatest example of civic apathy. 2 deaths are reported and that is just because of the potholes, and both the victims were travelling from their two-wheelers and they couldn't judge the pothole on the road and they slipped from their two-wheelers and their 2 lives have been claimed. First incident was reported on Bhiwandi Thane Road where there was a big pothole, and I am currently at that very location where a 46-year-old female lost her life. This was the very road where there was a big pothole and now it is just covered by the mud. If you can see, there is still some depth left and it is just halfly covered.
ये हालत कम से कम 4-5 साल से है और कल का जो हादसा हुआ वो बहुत ही दुख भरा था, क्योंकि वो हादसे में एक महिलाओं की मौत हो गई। इसको जिम्मेदार अपन जो संबंधित अधिकारी है, ये रोड के बारे में हम लोग MMRD को और PWD को बार बार पत्र व्यवहार किया। जो हमारे पहले सरपंच थे जो राजेंद्र मडवी साहब, उन्होंने भी बहुत बार इसका कोशिश किया, लेकिन कोई भी अधिकारी इसके ऊपर ध्यान नहीं दे रहे।
Residents of Rahanal village expressed their anger over the poor condition of the road. A local resident who witnessed the accident shared his concerns with Republic TV.
एग्जैक्टली कम से कम अभी वो सामने जो भी है मतलब कम से कम 1.5 फुट का गड्ढा था वहाँ पे, और रोड का जो कंस्ट्रक्शन है नॉर्मली जो रोड ऑन द वे हुआ है, जो फुटपाथ का रोड है वो छोड़ के उन्होंने बाकी का कंस्ट्रक्शन कुछ किया नहीं है, उसमें MMRD का उसमें प्रॉब्लम है.
Tragedies are not limited to Bhiwandi. A fire brigade official lost his life while on his way to duty in Shahpur after crashing his motorcycle due to a pothole. 2 fatal accidents in a single day calls for an urgent response from the authorities. Monsoon in Maharashtra continues to threaten lives every day.
Viewers, you're watching live this morning on Republic TV. That's all that we could put in this edition. Coming up after a short commercial break, Pakistani forces continue firing at unarmed protesters in POK. All of this after a short commercial break.
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा.
In the India Today Best Universities Survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi and National Law School Bengaluru.
कुछ तो सस्ता लो,
सब बढ़िया लो,
इसमें क्या खास बात है?
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात.
मसाला. रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं.
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा. रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना.
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं. रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ.
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट. अब बताओ, स्वाद आया? आया.
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट.
अगर मैं जेनजी की भाषा को बोरो करूं, then I will have to say Modi ji clocked it and provided a legislative solution.
आपको समझ ना आए तो आप घर जाके गूगल पे आप सर्च कर लेना ये क्या नारा है. वो नारा देते थे वास्ते गुने हुइयां, और वो नारा देते थे इतने प्यार से, इतनी खूबसूरत तरीके से इस्तीफा मांगते थे. कहते थे जब आपसे इस्तीफा भी मांगते थे तो कहते थे कुचू पुचू इस्तीफा दे दो, आज हमारा जन्मदिन है.
विपक्ष के आंदोलन को एक समराइज करना चाहूंगा मैं जेनजी के भाषा में. 37 दिन तक तो ये.
Coming up after a short commercial break, Jharkhand students announce assembly gherao on the 10th of August, says protest will continue until all demands over alleged exam irregularities are met. After a short break.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो बंटवारा हुआ रे. केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार. विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी.
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला. डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे.
I wake up wearing someone else again. Don't let it slip. I'm losing control. I don't wanna be safe anymore. Underneath there's a
Finding myself. That's my moment of Sarah.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ.
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट. अब बताओ, स्वाद आया? आया.
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट.
We're going to hit them very hard. I mean, I can actually say that because there's very little they can do about it. It was a different group than we're dealing with. They've already apologized, but, you know, we got to smack them a little bit.
The United States has launched airstrikes on Iran hours after President Donald Trump warned Tehran of a strong military response. The strikes mark the first major American attack since Trump paused the bombing campaign last week. Trump had earlier vowed to hit Iran very hard after an Iranian missile attack on an American base in Jordan. Within hours, US forces launched retaliatory strikes, escalating tensions across the Middle East.
We can hit them very hard. I mean, I can actually say that because there's very little they can do about it. It was a different group than we're dealing with. They've already apologized, but, you know, we got to smack them a little bit. Yeah, I think more so that, yeah, because it was another smaller event. But no, they sent 8,000-mile-an-hour missiles at us, and fortunately we had our people operating the greatest equipment in the world, namely the Patriot system. Think of it, 5 missiles going 8,600 miles.
Morning, this is Karun Seth on Republic, and here are the headlines for today. Pakistani forces continue firing at unarmed protesters in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Jharkhand students announce assembly gherav on August 10, say protests will continue until all demands over alleged exam irregularities are met. Agitating Jharkhand students begin an indefinite hunger strike today. Pressure mounts on the Congress-backed government to act. The parliamentary panel demands stricter safeguards for Meta platforms, asks Mark Zuckerberg to personally apologize. Trump says that talks with Iran are underway. Iran hits back saying that they have no intentions of negotiating. Now, the CID has detained Lalu Yadav and Pradeep Yadav from Hazaribagh. One of them had been selected for the JPSC, while the other acted as a setter, which is basically a facilitator of exam fraud. And the two are apparently brothers. During the raids, checks worth crores, admit cards for the excise constable examination, and various other documents were also recovered. Now remember, we've been breaking this news for you. This is regarding the JPSC exams that have been going on. Students are already protesting against this. The Congress government there is still, yet to act on this, and students are out on the streets protesting against the alleged irregularities in the JPSC exams. Now, JPSC, viewers remember, is the Jharkhand Public Selection Commission exams, which basically are for non-gazetted seats to the Jharkhand government's seats, basically. Now, close to 120 odd students is what the education minister there said that were affected. However, from reports we hear that a lot of more students have been affected, and the exam was recently conducted, post which a lot of students have actually hit the streets in massive protests across Jharkhand, demanding exam action against irregularities in the JPSC exams. Now, the CID now has made headway and detained two alleged wrongdoers, Lalu Yadav and Pradeep Yadav from Hazaribagh, and what they've recovered is crores of rupees false admit cards from these two wrongdoers. The CID investigation is still underway, and we'll probably see more wrongdoers and the CID making headway into the investigation. Now we've got Mr. Veerbhadra joining us live on this from the ground. Veerbhadra जी, क्या हो रहा है वहां पे? आप रांची में हैं अभी. हमें पता चला है कि सीआईडी ने 2 लोगों को डिटेन किया है, लालू यादव और प्रदीप यादव. और इसमें बताइए क्या इसमें हेडवे मिला है अभी सीआईडी को?
सोमवार को सीआईडी के द्वारा जो है हजारीबाग के कई जगहों पर छापेमारी की गई, जहां पर जो है ये प्रदीप कुमार और लालू यादव को जो है हिरासत में लिया गया और उनके पास से बहुत सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स जो है अलग अलग अभ्यर्थियों के पाए गए हैं और करोड़ों का जो है ब्लैंक चेक पाया गया है. तो इसमें जो है ये संदेहास्पद स्थिति जो है, जो लगातार छापेमारी को लेकर जो है छापेमारी चल रही है और उसमें दोषी भी लोग पाए जा रहे हैं. तो जो बच्चों की जो एक अंदेशा है कि जो ये पेपर लीक हो रहा है तो उसमें पुख्ता सबूत भी मिल रहे हैं, लेकिन इसके बावजूद जो छात्र हैं उनका जो है अभी तक यही मांग है कि इसकी जांच जो है सीबीआई के द्वारा होनी चाहिए. तो इस पे जो है झारखंड सरकार अभी तक कोई प्रतिक्रिया उनके तरफ से नहीं आई है, लेकिन ये एक बड़ी बात है कि मतलब जब कार्रवाई हो रही है तो उसमें दोषी लोग पाए भी जा रहे हैं. तो इस पर जो है झारखंड सरकार की चुप्पी और कांग्रेस जो कि भाजपा की तरफ से जब धर्मेंद्र प्रधान के इस्तीफे की बात हो रही थी तो कांग्रेस बहुत सारी बातें कर रही थी, लेकिन ऐसे मामले में ना ही किसी मंत्री का इस्तीफा की बात हो रही है और ना ही किस तरह का उनके तरफ से प्रतिक्रिया आ रहा है.
वीरभद्र जी, इसमें जो 2 लोग पाए गए हैं, लालू यादव और प्रदीप यादव, कुछ इनके कनेक्शंस के बारे में सीआईडी को पता चला है? इनका क्या करंट कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट से कोई कनेक्शन है या जो एग्जाम कंडक्टिंग बॉडी है उनसे कोई कनेक्शन है? कहां से ये 2 लोग मतलब आए हैं पिक्चर में? कहां कुछ कनेक्शन पता चला है? क्या है इनका?
जी, अभी तक जैसे सीआईडी के द्वारा जो है बातें सार्वजनिक नहीं की जा रही है, वो कुछ बताने से बच रहे हैं. तो इसमें वो बता रहे हैं कि जांच अभी चल रही है और अब बाकी की बातें जो है हम लोग डिस्क्लोज करेंगे. तो अभी तक उन्होंने ऐसा कुछ बताया नहीं है.
All right, thank you Veerbhadra ji for getting us more details on this. We'll continue tracking the story. And now moving on to the next story, viewers. A parliamentary panel has taken up the issue of the temporary removal of Prime Minister Modi's video from Meta's platform. Now, during a meeting of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Communications and Information Technology, Meta officials expressed regret and apologized, saying the removal was due to an error. However, committee members reportedly said that an apology alone was not enough and they sought accountability. Take a look at this report.
A parliamentary panel has questioned Meta over the removal of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's video from its platform. According to sources, Meta officials told the committee the video was removed due to an error and apologized for the incident. Sources say the committee members asked why the Prime Minister's video was removed while other objectionable content remained online. Members also reportedly sought details of the action taken by Meta against those responsible and on objectionable content hosted on its platforms. After the meeting, committee chairman and BJP MP Dr. Nishikant Dubey said that the committee wants an apology from Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg.
जो मेटा इंडिया ने किया, जो एक्स ने किया, जो यूट्यूब ने किया, वो देश को जानने लायक था कि बीजेपी, कांग्रेस, समाजवादी पार्टी, आम आदमी पार्टी सभी के यदि एल्गोरिदम में व्यूअरशिप को देख लीजिए तो वो व्यूअरशिप जो है केवल 23 मिलियन, और जो न रजिस्टर्ड पार्टी है न रजिस्टर्ड एनजीओ है, स्ट्रीट पर किसी तरह के बहकावे में है, उसका जो एल्गोरिदम है वो 27 मिलियन. सभी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी मिलकर 23-24 मिलियन पर है, वो अकेले वहाँ. अभी एंटी रिजर्वेशन एक फोरम बना है 5-6 दिन पहले, वो 7 मिलियन. और उसका कारण है कि इनकी एक पॉलिसी है कि ये नए लोगों को तरजीह देंगे तो पुराने लोगों को तरजीह नहीं देंगे.
The meeting also reviewed the functioning and regulation of major digital platforms including Google, X, Snapchat, YouTube and Meta. As Parliament intensifies scrutiny of digital platforms, the focus remains on accountability, content moderation and compliance with India's regulatory framework.
Now, reacting to Udayanithi Stalin's speech yesterday, the TVK ministers are now condemning that even the leaders of opposition is now following the footsteps of previous ministers to make derogatory remarks against women. Minister Arnab Arjuna, taking to X, stated that the leader of parliament, speaking about farmers' protest on stage, has completely deviated from his stance and spoke like he was talking about pornography. Now, remember, we've seen both to and fro from the ruling government and the opposition parties, and there have obviously been a lot of, protests and reactions on Udayanithi Stalin's remarks. So this has been going on, and we've seen a lot of, resistance from the opposition on this. Now, looking at the breaking news for the day, K. Annamalai has said that when I was cleaning the Vaigai River yesterday, I thought, can there be worse pollution than this? Then I listened to Mr. Udayanithi Stalin's speech. This is what K. Udayanithi has said. Now, remember, there's been a lot of, contempt from the opposition after what Mr. Udayanithi said yesterday. Clearly, Mr. Annamalai has reacted to it. He's posted on X that, when he was cleansing the river yesterday, he thought, can there be more worse pollution than this? So he's basically likened Mr. Udayanithi's words, speech to bad pollution, basically. Now we have Sharda, who's joining us live to discuss this more in detail. Sharda, of course, there's been a huge uproar post Mr. Udayanithi's comments, and Mr. K. Annamalai has also obviously, reacted to it and posted on X. What do you make of this? What more statements are we getting? What's happening there?
Well, the comment that made by Udayanithi Stalin yesterday was not just accepted by anybody else. Well, DMK is still defending, saying that it was not Udayanithi who directly made the comment, but it was the functionary who was standing while Udayanithi was talking about the Kaveri issue. People have completely understood that while people did make the comment on Trisha, Udayanithi smiled at it and continued to make a derogatory comment, saying that whether the water will come to the state of Tamil Nadu or not, but will come to Trisha's house. While the literal translation made for his speech comes through at an understanding in that way. All the parties, including the BJP, has condemned Udayanithi Stalin's speech. Now, yesterday K. Annamalai did a cleaning drive in the Vaigai River in Madurai. Following that, after listening to Udayanithi's speech, he took to X to say that it was not just about cleaning the river, whether it would be more polluted. He also said that Udayanithi Stalin's speech is even more worse than that. And multiple people have condemned Udayanithi Stalin, including the TVK ministers Arnab Arjuna and Kirtana, have said that while DMK continues to make derogatory remarks against leader using females as a particular point, this is not the first time that Udayanithi Stalin has made such a derogatory comment, because last time, if you see, he also made a derogatory comment against Edappadi K. Palaniswamy, the AIADMK party general secretary, saying that he will always be between Shashikala's legs, falling under her legs, is what he made the comment, and which was very much impolite. And Edappadi K. Palaniswamy said that it was disrespectful. And it was in an interview with Republic that Udayanithi Stalin then said, publicly apologized that it was not disrespectful, but was the truth that he had said. And it continues now. So DMK is not the first time making demeaning or derogatory comments against leaders using women. So likely today that the TVK is going to file official complaints in DGP and Commissioner Office in Chennai and multiple other districts in Tamil Nadu. A statewide protest has also been called around noon by the TVK, as advised by the party general secretary, to oppose Udayanithi Stalin's statement.
But the rally, was the issue was originally about the Kaveri water dispute. Have these comments and this new controversy actually overshadowed the actual dispute, the actual protest, which was about the Kaveri water dispute? And what has been the response from the DVK specifically? Have they come forward and apologized? Do we hear an apology from Mr. Stalin? Anything?
Well, very well. The protest, as you mentioned, is focused on the Kaveri water, while DMK claimed that the TVK has failed to bring water to the state of Tamil Nadu, as the talks between the Congress leader DK Shivakumar and Vijay did not go well in this particular issue. Now, the issue has been completely deviated. Yesterday, we saw farmers protesting. We've been seeing the last few weeks that farmers have been going on hunger strike in the state of Tamil Nadu, saying that there is no water in the river Kaveri and that they are not able to do any irrigation. So in this case, now, this particular issue is completely deviated from the particular ideology of fighting for Kaveri water from Congress and gone to DMK versus TVK. While DMK still continues to protect Udayanidhi Stalin, saying that it was not a comment made by him. So they have not made any public apology. They have not agreed saying that a comment made by them is wrong. They just stated that there are no comments made by Udayanidhi Stalin. It was party functionaries who were supporting on the ground made the noises, and it was not a speech made by him. So they're completely defending him in this. Meanwhile, TVK has taken it to the NCW as well, filing a complaint with the National Women's Commission, saying that a public apology should be given by Udayanidhi Stalin.
Got it. Let's actually listen to what Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin has actually said. Let's play the bite.
வாயை திறந்து பேசுறாரா? பேச மாட்டேங்கிறார். அவருக்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரே கவலை என்ன? திமுக மேல என்ன பொய் வழக்கு போடலாம், என்ன பொய் கேஸ் போடலாம். எங்க தண்ணி வருதோ இல்ல அங்க தண்ணி வரணும். காவிரி சொன்ன.
Now, the BJP has launched a sharp attack at the Congress after Karnataka Minister Priyank Kharge's remarks on police recruitment aspirants triggered a political controversy. The BJP says the comments expose what it calls the Congress's anti-student mindset, even as students' protests continue over alleged exam irregularities in Karnataka and the JPSC exam in Jharkhand. Take a look.
A political storm has erupted over Karnataka Minister Priyank Kharge's remarks on police recruitment aspirants. Questioned over alleged lapses in the state police recruitment examination, Kharge said he would resign only after aspirants go on a 25-day hunger strike and face lathi charge, referring to the NEET protests.
Let them first 25 days, let them go on hunger strike. Then if they don't control, we will do one lathi charge and then I will resign. That's like how they did for this thing. So if the people who are seeking my resignation should answer, why didn't Mr. Bommai resign when the PSI scam happened? Why didn't Mr. Argagnanendra resign when the PSI scam happened? Yesterday, lakhs of people wrote exams and there's a problem only with close to around 120 people.
The remarks have triggered sharp political reactions, with the BJP accusing the Congress of mocking students instead of addressing their concerns. BJP MP Sudhanshu Trivedi said Priyank Kharge's statement exposes what he described as the Congress party's pro-student mask, while claiming its real approach is anti-protest and anti-student.
Now in Karnataka, when their minister, a very important minister, who is also son of Congress President Shri Mallikarjun Kharge, Mr. Priyank Kharge, when he was asked to take the responsibility of the anomalies which were taken place in the veterinary entrance examination and the police recruitment examination, and in a utterly dastardly, insensitive manner, he said that if you want to ask for my resignation, first sit for an hunger strike for 25 days, face the lathi charge, then I can think of tendering my resignation. This shows the sheer arrogance and the sheer insensitivity and the crooked politics on the issue of student concerns.
The BJP also linked the controversy to the examination scam in Jharkhand, alleging that despite student protests, the Congress-backed government has remained silent. The party said students in Karnataka and Jharkhand deserve answers over examination irregularities rather than political remarks. As the controversy intensifies, the debate has now shifted from examination irregularities to the political response towards students demanding accountability.
Now, for over decades, actually 3 decades, Century Ply has been a name synonymous with quality, trust, durability, and innovation. But today, the brand is taking its commitment a step further by unveiling its consumer-first commitment. More than just a product promise, this milestone reflects Century Ply's unwavering confidence in its manufacturing excellence, product quality, and leadership in the category. It marks a shift from making claims to delivering measurable customer assurance. It's actually taking a bold step towards strengthening trust and creating greater peace of mind for every customer who chooses Century Ply.
Century Ply is set to unveil an industry-first consumer commitment and initiative designed to redefine customer assurance and raise the benchmark for accountability across the building materials industry.
Versus all labor, material and transportation costs caused by the defect. यानी 10 साल तक पूरे फर्नीचर के मटेरियल से लेबर तक full cost marks.
Built on extensive consumer research, market insights and customer feedback, Century Ply has identified one of the biggest concerns among home buyers and homeowners, the need for greater confidence in the performance and longevity of plywood products.
Make your customers a commitment.
This is not a scheme. This is not even a campaign. This is actually a customer assurance. And it is a commitment that only a company with 40 years of history can give.
With its total cover warranty, Century Ply provides a commitment that puts the customer's peace of mind at the heart of every purchase.
सिर्फ प्लाईवुड का ना
पूरे फर्नीचर का
इडियट है क्या कौन लेगी
सेंचुरी प्लाई टोटल कवर 10 साल तक प्लाई लैमिनेट लेबर ग्लू ट्रांसपोर्ट सबका फुल कॉस्ट पर
Our chairman said that go to Brazil, go to Uruguay, go to Vietnam, go to wherever in the world has good timber and make sure that you elevate the product experience. But he said that the quality you will give the customer is something they would have never gotten.
Trust takes decades to build, and Century Ply promises to transform that trust into action with a commitment that goes beyond products and puts consumers first.
Now, students in Jharkhand have been protesting for over a week, with thousands gathering in Ranchi over allegations of irregularities in the state's recruitment process. The movement, led by aspirants, is centered around concerns over paper leaks, examination delays, missing cut-off marks, and demands for greater transparency in government job recruitments. The protesters are seeking a CBI probe and reforms in the recruitment system. The issue has also triggered a political face-off, with BJP leaders questioning the silence of opposition leaders who had actually earlier raised similar concerns during protests in Delhi. Take a look at the report.
The youth-led agitation was triggered by allegations of question paper leaks, the absence of cut-off marks, and repeated delays in the recruitment examination process. Addressing the media last night, the protesters warned that if their demands are not met, Chief Minister Hemant Soren should resign.
वो छात्र अपने जेन्युइन डिमांड के लिए पिछले 7-8 साल में झारखंड पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन, झारखंड स्टाफ सिलेक्शन कमीशन में केवल भाई भतीजावाद और भ्रष्टाचार हुआ है। जो झारखंड के बच्चे हैं वो जेन्युइनली नौकरी नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, उनको नौकरी नहीं मिल पा रही है। जो गरीब बच्चे हैं उनको तो और भी नहीं मिल रही है। इसके लिए झारखंड में लगातार आंदोलन चल रहा है और मेरा आप लोगों से आग्रह होगा कि आप लोग इन चीज़ों को दिखाइए कि जेन्युइन छात्र का आंदोलन क्या होता है, कांग्रेस का असली चेहरा क्या है, झारखंड मुक्ति मोर्चा का असली चेहरा क्या है, समाजवादी पार्टी का असली चेहरा क्या है।
The students are demanding a CBI probe into the alleged irregularities, the cancellation of the 14 JPSC examination, and transparent recruitment reforms. Protesters and student wings have also warned of laying siege to the Jharkhand Legislative Assembly on August 10, 2026, if their demands continue to be ignored. Leaders of the CJP, who had been vocal during the protests at Jantar Mantar over similar issues, are now conspicuously absent from the demonstrations in Jharkhand. Even as the student movement gathers momentum in Jharkhand, the opposition has maintained silence over the ongoing agitation.
जिन्होंने सत्र का 2 सप्ताह चलने नहीं दिया इसी नीट की परीक्षाओं को लेकर के, आज झारखंड की सड़कों पे जिस तरह से वहाँ के छात्र युवा आंदोलित हैं, आज क्यों चुप है राहुल? आज प्रियंका क्यों चुप है? आज समाजवादी पार्टी क्यों चुप है?
The BJP has questioned why opposition leaders who had strongly backed the CJP protests at Jantar Mantar have not extended similar support to the agitation in Jharkhand over comparable issues.
झारखंड के विद्यार्थी पिछले 8-10 दिन से राजधानी रांची में धरना प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं। हजारों हजार की संख्या में हैं, सभी गरीब हैं और उन सभी का आरोप यह है कि झारखंड राज्य जो एक सर्विस कमीशन है उसकी परीक्षाओं के पेपर लीक हुए। आज पूरा झारखंड का विद्यार्थी समुदाय जब इतने बड़े आंदोलन में शामिल है तो पूरे विपक्ष में सन्नाटा छाया हुआ है।
Meanwhile, the Congress has accused the BJP of sponsoring the protests in Ranchi, alleging that the issue has been politicized instead of addressing the concerns raised by the students.
प्रदेश का कांग्रेस का कमेटी ने उसके ऊपर रिएक्ट किया होगा और बीजेपी और आरएसएस वाले इसके पूरी इस स्टूडेंट प्रोटेस्ट का, दिल्ली का स्टूडेंट प्रोटेस्ट का नलिफाई करने के लिए साजिशों में लगे हुए हैं। आरएसएस पीछे लगी हुई है। आरएसएस का काम ही है ये जेन्युइन प्रोटेस्ट का, ये लोगों इनका पूरी तांत्रिक यूज करके डाइवर्ट करने के लिए।
Chief Minister Hemant Soren has remained silent on the students' demands, despite having made strong remarks during the CJP protests. As the agitation intensifies and political parties continue to trade allegations, the focus remains on whether the students' concerns will be addressed or continue to become a subject of political confrontation.
All right, viewers, you're watching Republic. We'll slip into a short break. Stay with us. We're coming back with more top stories in just a moment. And coming up after the break, parliamentary panel demands stricter safeguards for Meta platforms, asks Mark Zuckerberg to personally apologize.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा प्योर मसाला।
In the India Today Best Universities Survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi, and National Law School Bengaluru.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है? आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट, स्वाद बढ़ाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और फरसान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
कुछ तो सस्ता लो,
सब बढ़िया लो।
इसमें क्या खास बात है?
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
सबका राजा प्योर मसाला।
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाई जीरा से MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से।
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
MTH।
अगर मैं जेनजी की भाषा को बोरो करूं, then I will have to say Modi ji clocked it and provided a legislative solution.
आपको समझ ना आए तो आप घर जाके गूगल पे आप सर्च कर लेना ये क्या नारा है। वो नारा देते थे वास्ते गुने हुई। और वो नारा देते थे, इतने प्यार से, इतनी खूबसूरत तरीके से इस्तीफा मांगते थे, कहते थे, जब आपसे इस्तीफा भी मांगते थे तो कहते थे कुचू पुचू इस्तीफा दे दो, आज हमारा जन्मदिन है।
विपक्ष के आंदोलन को एक समराइज करना चाहूंगा मैं जेनजी के भाषा में। 37 दिन तक तो ये जंतर मंतर।
Time for a very short break. Much more coming up on the other side. Stay tuned to Republic. And coming up on the other side, parliamentary panel demands stricter safeguards for Meta platforms, asks Mark Zuckerberg to personally apologize.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
I wake up wearing someone else again. Don't let it slip. I'm losing grip. I don't wanna be safe anymore. Underneath there's a
Finding myself. That's my moment of Sarah.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बढ़ाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और परेशान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
We're going to hit them very hard. I mean, I can actually say that because in that, there's very little they can do about it. It was a different group than we're dealing with. They've already apologized, but you know, we got to smack them a little bit.
The United States has launched airstrikes on Iran hours after President Donald Trump warned Tehran of a strong military response. The strikes mark the first major American attack since Trump paused the bombing campaign last week. Trump had earlier vowed to hit Iran very hard after an Iranian missile attack on an American base in Jordan. Within hours, US forces launched retaliatory strikes, escalating tensions across the Middle East.
We're going to hit them very hard. I mean, I can actually say that because in that, there's very little they can do about it. It was a different group than we're dealing with. They've already apologized, but you know, we got to smack them a little bit. Yeah, I think more so that, yeah, because it was another smaller event. But no, they sent 8,000 mile-an-hour missiles at us, and fortunately we had our people operating the greatest equipment in the world, namely the Patriot system. Think of it, 5 missiles going 8,600 miles an hour, big ones, coming right at us, and all 5 were shot down. How about that, right? Pretty good. Nobody else could do that but us, yeah.
US forces began launching strikes against Iran at 8 p.m. ET today. The strikes are a powerful response to yesterday's attempted Iranian attacks on US forces based in the Middle East. The escalation comes after Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps claimed responsibility for a missile attack on a US airbase and command center in Jordan. The US military says all the missiles were intercepted.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. watching Republic.
Headlines brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Pakistani forces continue firing at unarmed protesters in POK. Fresh visuals emerge from Muzaffarabad of Pakistan forces setting motorcycles on fire. Jharkhand students continue assembly gherao on the 10th of August, says protest will continue until all demands over alleged exam irregularities are met. Agitating Jharkhand students begin an indefinite hunger strike today. Pressure mounts on Congress-backed government to act. Parliamentary panel demands stricter safeguards for Meta platform, asks Mark Zuckerberg to personally apologize and take action against the person responsible for removing PM Modi's video.
We're not talking when you ask me. No, we're not talking. I'll say it. But we are talking right now. We're talking. And we're talking at the request of Iran, backed by Saudi Arabia, backed by UAE, and backed by Qatar.
Trump says that the talks with Iran are underway. Iran hits back, saying they have no intentions of negotiating. Hello and a very good morning. You're watching Live and Breaking on Republic TV. My name is Nayan. We'll be bringing you breaking news of the hour where unarmed protesters have gathered at the Lal Chowk, which is in the heart of Muzaffarabad. And this is the capital of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. It is under intense firing by the Pakistani Rangers and also the Frontier Corps. Now, all of this where the civilians are now burning motorcycles ablaze by the Pakistani army. We'll be showing you visuals in a short span of time. Pakistani army is firing tear gas and bullets on civilians in the Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. In fact, Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir is now under a big siege. There is a skirmish that is taking place. Pakistani army is attacking the civilians of Muzaffarabad, and all of this is taking place at the Lal Chowk and Makri areas of Muzaffarabad. Now, there is a security action that has been taken so far. It is by the Pakistani Rangers and the Frontier Corps personnel. They are firing at intensely, in fact, firing at the civilians. I have my colleague Gursimran joining us, also joining on a call shortly. But this is the first video where which we have from Muzaffarabad, where unarmed protesters have gathered at Lal Chowk in the heart of Muzaffarabad.
बगैरत के बच्चे लगातार फाइट कर रहे हैं। ये शेर फाइट कर रहे हैं, आप देख सकते हैं लाइव। यहाँ ये देख ले लगातार फाइट हो रहे हैं। ये देखें, पीछे आ जाओ।
All right, viewers, we have another video that we will be showing you. This is also coming in from Muzaffarabad. This is where the JAAC is claiming that the Pakistani army forces are setting fire to civilian motorcycles in the area of Makri, which is in Muzaffarabad. Now, it is not just the people who are being massacred, their belongings are also being set ablaze. And all of this is destroyed by the Pakistani army, which is now making all possible efforts to cripple the people. So on your television screen are visuals where not just people are harmed, but also their belongings are set ablaze. We'll also be showing you more visuals, viewers. On your television screen is going to come up another visual. And these are fresh visuals that are emerging from also from Pakistan, which is the Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Now, Pakistani army rangers have not just resorted to using tear gas, they're also opening fire against unarmed civilians in the area. And these are visuals emerging from Makri, which is a part of Muzaffarabad. And these are showing the security forces setting fire to civilians, opening fires. Also tear gas bombs, tear gas shells have been thrown at them. And there is just no plight and no ending to this massacre. I have my colleague Zeenat, who is also joining me for a conversation right now. Zeenat, first of all, thank you so much. You're joining us from Srinagar right now. What is the situation right now? It is very, very tensed. What are the updates that you have for us, Zeenat?
See, the situation in Muzaffarabad, Islamabad, or the Rawalpindi has been escalated for the last many days. Rather, now it's been almost a month when we see the Muzaffarabad, Kotli, Mirpur all on boiling because of the demands that have been put by the citizens of the country. They have been up arms against the administration, demanding the basic rights of the having a better electricity on a lower price, the subsidy as far as the food items are concerned, to deal with the crisis of the unemployment. And instead of having a talks or take it to the logical conclusions, we see the Pakistan army all blazing guns on the civilians, on the unarmed people, and we've been seeing that Pakistan's operation in Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Yesterday also there was a march from Muzaffarabad and other places towards the Pindi as well as Islamabad, which is the seat of administration for the Pakistan government, or for that matter, Pakistan army. You see the visuals that we are showing. This tells you about the tear smoke canisters being used on the protesters who are demanding the basic. Because this all started during the elections, right, when the locals started showing their resentment as far as the reserved seats are concerned, and they wanted that the abolition of around 14 seats, and because of which the PTI, which is led by the Imran Khan, did not even participate in the elections, and there had been the multiple reports about the rigging in the elections that is being done by the PMLN, which is the Nawaz Sharif's party. And now we see the bloodshed everywhere. As far as the count goes, it's more than 100 people have been killed, hundreds of people have been injured, and even the Pakistan army did not even allow them to take the dead bodies, because the dead bodies were snatched from the hospitals, from the mosques, and even the internet shutdown is there. The communication is not being, freedom of speech has been suppressed, and that is why the call is coming from across the globe to the Amnesty International, the human rights organizations that are around this United States, that they should visit and take the situation and read the situation on the ground and see what best can be do to the public who have been up arms against the government, and they are facing a lot of law. Yeah.
Zeenat, I want you to stay with us, because there's another breaking news coming in all the way from Pakistan, where they're declaring that the Pakistan system is completely collapsed. Zeenat, we're going to come back to you, but this is the breaking news of the hour, that after declaring Pakistan's system as completely collapsed, Mohsin Naqvi, who's a Federal Minister of Interior of Pakistan, is pointing to a deeply entrenched multi-decade corruption scandal. Now, there's a corruption scandal that has now taken a new angle, and it is involving the powerful institutional pillars. This is a big claim of system collapse happening in Pakistan. Naqvi is saying that netas, bankers, bureaucrats are all a part of this mega scam, and the scam has been taking place for 21 long years so far. Now, this is a claim that a massive, unprecedented scam spanning 21 years is involving a widespread payoff. I'm going to come back to you, Zeenat. In fact, but before I come to you, Zeenat, let's listen to what Naqvi Mohsin has to say.
बात यह है कि हर एक के लिए कानून होना चाहिए, चाहे वो गरीब है चाहे अमीर. ये नहीं हो सकता कि गरीब के लिए कुछ और अमीर के लिए कुछ और. इसीलिए हम ये कोशिश कर रहे हैं, और इतना बड़ा स्कैम मैंने नहीं ख्याल पाकिस्तान की हिस्ट्री में होगा, जिसमें जजेस, ब्यूरोक्रेट्स, सियासतदान, बैंकर्स हर एक इन्वॉल्व है, और 21 साल वो पैसे खिलाता रहा और ये लोग पैसे खाते रहे. तो मेरा ख्याल है कि अभी सिर्फ बिल्डिंग तक नहीं हमें रहना चाहिए. मैं तो पूरी तजवीज़ दूंगा कि जो इसमें जिसमें उनको नुकसान पहुंचाया उन सब के पीछे जाना चाहिए.
लेकिन इसमें कोई पॉलिटिकली नहीं कहा जाता कि जिस पे पॉलिटिकल नंबर शेयरिंग है और इसका कोई.
बस मैं वो नहीं बोलूँ बेहतर है. मैं तो सिर्फ इतना ही कहूँगा कि जो सीडीए का मौका है मैं उसकी भरपूर हिमायत करता हूँ और उनको सपोर्ट करूँगा.
Clearly, Zeenat, Pakistan's Federal Minister, is saying that the system has completely collapsed. What is your understanding of the situation?
See, we have been seeing the scams when there was Nawaz Sharif government previously, when Benazir Bhutto was ruling, then her husband came in, and this is a part of the legacy that the Pakistan political leaders have been carrying for long time. They are into the scam. Now something is coming very open where the close aide of Shahbaz Sharif is talking about this. Nafi is talking about this is a big scam that took them 21 years, and he also talked about that not only the bankers but also the judiciary. Judiciary is always seen in any country that which is par excellence and having the highest say in any country. When the judiciary gets compromised, so you can understand how the system in the Pakistan has failed. And when now there is an uprising, when the people have started raising the voices, what they are getting in return? They are getting bullets. The bullets are fired on the unarmed citizens. Their properties are getting detached. Their properties are getting damaged. The people are losing their lives. They are getting injured. And what in return? Nothing. Pakistan administration, Pakistan government or the Pakistan army is not even ready to talk to them when they are just demanding the basic rights which any citizen of the country would ask for when they talk about the basic food rights, talking about because see, Pakistan, there is an inflation is gone quite a bit, is skyrocketing, rocketing, and the people are not able to bear the kind of prices that what they get in the market now. And when the income is very low, the unemployment graph has gone up. And by Pakistan army or the Pakistan administration, Pakistan is ruled by not by the administration, is always being ruled by the Pakistan army. So they don't have answer to the citizens of their own country, and what they are getting in return now, the bullets are being fired. With the results, hundreds of people have lost their life. And still the human rights organizations or the people who are talking about the violations that are taking place in the Pakistan continues to remain mum on the very serious issue, because this is an atrocities that are being committed, the genocide that we see in Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir.
Right, Zeenat, in fact, I want you to continue to stay with us. There is another breaking news, Zeenat, and now there's a breaking of the unknown gunmen that have killed over 30 Lashkar men in Pakistan. This is the breaking news of the hour. Pakistani terror outfit Lashkar-e-Taiba is battered, and they're claiming that 30 of their men have been killed. Now, this is a breaking news coming in, live visual, not live, but some visuals that we have procured of these Lashkar-e-Taiba men claiming that 30 of the LET terrorists have been killed. Now, on your television screen is Rizwan Hanif. He's the terrorist linked to the Lashkar-e-Taiba. And in Pakistan, he maintains the outlawed, and he was outlawed and disbanded by India long ago. But his video has surfaced on social media, and this is the video on your television screen. Now, in this video, he's claiming that in the past 3 to 4 years, many members of their banned organization, which is behind the 2008 Mumbai attacks, and also many of the other killings in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, they have claimed that 30 of their Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists have been killed by an unknown man. Now, this is in Peshawar, in Karachi, in Rawalpindi, in Rawalkot, and also in Muzaffarabad. And this is the first time this terrorist linked to Lashkar-e-Taiba is sanctioned by the UN in 2005 over its links. Let's listen into what Rizwan Hanif had to say in this social media video that is surfacing.
इस जुर्म के अंदर हिंदुस्तान की खुफिया एजेंसीज ने उसको यहाँ आजाद कश्मीर के अंदर भी अमन और चैन से नहीं रहने दिया। अपने जर खरीद एजेंटों के जरिए से उसको यहाँ पर शहीद किया गया। ये पहला वाकया नहीं है। गुज़श्ता 3-4 सालों के अंदर 30 से ज्यादा वाकयात हो चुके हैं कि हमारे भाइयों को शहीद किया गया। किसी को पेशावर में, किसी को कराची में, किसी को पिंडी में, किसी को रावलाकोट में, किसी को मुजफ्फराबाद में। जुर्म क्या है? जुर्म सिर्फ ये है कि हम ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह के मानने वाले हैं। हम हनुमान, घनश्याम, हरि राम, हम गाय की, बछड़ों की पूजा करने वाले नहीं हैं। ये जालिम हिंदू ये चाहता है जमीन के ऊपर गाय की पूजा हो, यहूदी ये चाहता है बछड़े की पूजा हो, और अल्लाह का बंदा इब्राहीम अलैहिस्सलाम की सुन्नत पर अमल करते हुए ये कहता है इस जमीन पर जब तक आखिरी मुसलमान जिंदा है इंशाअल्लाह किसी गाय और बछड़े की इबादत को कबूल नहीं किया जाएगा।
All right, Zeenat, thank you so much for staying with us. Zeenat, this unknown gunman who has killed over 30 Lashkar-e men in Pakistan, does it ring a bell to you? What is your understanding of this situation? This is actually great news. 30 of their men have been killed by this unknown gunman.
See, what Pakistan tried to sow in the Kashmir Valley 37 years back, they are reaping the same harvest at their own soil now. Because earlier, what they would do in Kashmir, if you have read the history of the Kashmir, the same unknown gunmen would kill the locals or the policemen or the army person, and they would be tagged as unknown gunmen. Now, what we are seeing, the internal fight or the war between Pakistani terrorists and the Pakistani army, and the Pakistan army is now trying to eliminate those who are the sore in their eye now. So he is admitting that the 30 of them have been killed in different operations, from Peshawar to Pindi to Rawalpindi to Muzaffarabad. So this is that the kind of the Pakistan has always been talking about denying the terrorism on this soil, but now their own people are saying that their own terrorists are getting killed in the Pakistan. How is Pakistan going to defend the own statement that is coming from the terror organizations, Lashkar-e-Taiba, because they are the organization who have been backed by the Pakistan army or the Pakistan administration.
Right. Zeenat, this feels like India's Dhurandhar moment for Pakistani's LET. But thank you so much for staying with us and giving us all of those details all the way from Srinagar. Appreciate your time. Getting another breaking news of the hour, ladies and gentlemen, where we have more. This is regarding the Jharkhand, in fact, paper leak. The CID has detained Lalu Yadav and also Pradeep Yadav from Hazirabad. Now, this is also two of them being, these are two brothers. They are accused they are detained by the CID and they are accused for paper leak in Jharkhand. The CID has detained Lalu Yadav and Pradeep Yadav. They're two brothers who are key accused in the Jharkhand paper leak case. And they accused is a selected candidate for the JPSC and also the alleged setter of the paper. Now, the CID has seized checks worth crores and also admit cards have been taken into custody. Right now, on your television screen are the protests that are coming in from Jharkhand, where a paper leak case has happened, and two of the brothers who were involved in this paper case, who had all the documents, the admit cards, have been taken into custody. The CID has seized checks worth crores from these two brothers, Lalu Yadav and also his brother Pradeep Yadav. So, big breaking news coming in. These are the visuals of the protests that are currently underway in Jharkhand. And very, very unfortunate, but this is the reality. But the good news is that two of the accused have been taken into custody. Viewers, students in Jharkhand have been protesting for over a week, with the thousands of them gathering in Ranchi over the allegations of irregularities in the state's recruitment process. The movement led by the aspirant is centered around the concerns over paper leaks, examination delays, missing cut-off marks, and also demands for greater transparency in the government job recruitment. The protests are seeking a CBI probe and reforms in the recruitment system. In fact, the issue has also triggered a political face-off, with BJP leaders questioning the silence of opposition leaders who had earlier raised similar concerns during protests in Delhi. Take a look at this detailed report.
The youth-led agitation was triggered by allegations of question paper leaks, the absence of cut-off marks, and repeated delays in the recruitment examination process. Addressing the media last night, the protesters warned that if their demands are not met, Chief Minister Hemant Soren should resign.
वो छात्र अपने जेन्युइन डिमांड के लिए पिछले 7-8 साल में झारखंड पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन, झारखंड स्टाफ सिलेक्शन कमीशन में केवल भाई भतीजावाद और भ्रष्टाचार हुआ है। जो झारखंड के बच्चे हैं वो जेन्युइनली नौकरी नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, उनको नौकरी नहीं मिल पा रही है। जो गरीब बच्चे हैं उनको तो और भी नहीं मिल रही है। इसके लिए झारखंड में लगातार आंदोलन चल रहा है और मेरा आप लोगों से आग्रह होगा कि आप लोग इन चीज़ों को दिखाइए कि जेन्युइन छात्र का आंदोलन क्या होता है, कांग्रेस का असली चेहरा क्या है, झारखंड मुक्ति मोर्चा का असली चेहरा क्या है, समाजवादी पार्टी का असली चेहरा क्या है।
The students are demanding a CBI probe into the alleged irregularities, the cancellation of the 14 JPSC examination, and transparent recruitment reforms. Protesters and student wings have also warned of laying siege to the Jharkhand Legislative Assembly on August 10, 2026, if their demands continue to be ignored. Leaders of the CJP, who had been vocal during the protests at Jantar Mantar over similar issues, are now conspicuously absent from the demonstrations in Jharkhand. Even as the student movement gathers momentum in Jharkhand, the opposition has maintained silence over the ongoing agitation.
जिन्होंने सत्र का 2 सप्ताह चलने नहीं दिया इसी नीट की परीक्षाओं को लेकर के, आज झारखंड की सड़कों पे जिस तरह से वहाँ के छात्र युवा आंदोलित हैं, आज क्यों चुप है राहुल? आज प्रियंका क्यों चुप है? आज समाजवादी पार्टी क्यों चुप है?
The BJP has questioned why opposition leaders who had strongly backed the CJP protests at Jantar Mantar have not extended similar support to the agitation in Jharkhand over comparable issues.
झारखंड के विद्यार्थी पिछले 8-10 दिन से राजधानी रांची में धरना प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं। हजारों हजार की संख्या में हैं, सभी गरीब हैं और उन सभी का आरोप यह है कि झारखंड राज्य जो एक सर्विस कमीशन है उसकी परीक्षाओं के पेपर लीक हुए। आज पूरा झारखंड का विद्यार्थी समुदाय जब इतने बड़े आंदोलन में शामिल है तो पूरे विपक्ष में सन्नाटा छाया हुआ है।
Meanwhile, the Congress has accused the BJP of sponsoring the protests in Ranchi, alleging that the issue has been politicized instead of addressing the concerns raised by the students.
प्रदेश का कांग्रेस का कमेटी ने उसके ऊपर रिएक्ट किया होगा और बीजेपी और आरएसएस वाले इसके पूरी इस स्टूडेंट प्रोटेस्ट का, दिल्ली का स्टूडेंट प्रोटेस्ट का नलिफाई करने के लिए साजिशों में लगे हुए हैं। आरएसएस पीछे लगी हुई है। आरएसएस का काम ही है ये जेन्युइन प्रोटेस्ट का ये लोगों इनका पूरी तांत्रिक यूज करके डाइवर्ट करने के लिए।
Chief Minister Hemant Soren has remained silent on the students' demands, despite having made strong remarks during the CJP protests. As the agitation intensifies and political parties continue to trade allegations, the focus remains on whether the students' concerns will be addressed or continue to become a subject of political confrontation.
Viewers, Telegram application, which was blocked by the iOS and also the App Store, is now back on the App Store. There is no official word so far that we've got from the Apple on the removal or restoration, but the Telegram application is currently back on the App Store. So viewers, for your information, Telegram has been under scrutiny worldwide for a very long time. Now, neither Apple nor Telegram has issued an official statement for the time of the writing, but existing installations that appeared were actually that people already had on their phones remain the same, but the new downloads were blocked. But for now, Telegram applications are back on the App Store and they can be regularly downloaded. There is a word that is coming in that application is back on the App Store. Viewers, Telegram, the application, the communication application, very similar to other applications like WhatsApp, is now back on the Apple Store and also the Play Store. It was temporarily removed by the Apple Store and also by the Play Store, but there was no word from the Apple on removing or restoring the app. But now our understanding is that the Telegram app is now back on the App Store. I have my colleague Shivam joining us from the newsroom to give us more details. Shivam, this is such a confusing moment for the app itself. It was restored just a few hours ago while it was taken off by the iOS and also the Play Store. What are the emerging details that you have for us, Shivam?
Yes, Telegram app was briefly removed from the iOS and Apple, but this has to be highlighted, the fact that this was removed only for a very brief time and now it has been restored. Now, there hasn't been any official confirmed statement by Apple that has come to surface. However, there are various sources which confirm that it was found that the content which was being put on Telegram was not as per the standards. It used to violate it used to violate the standard guidelines that are met, including where prohibiting child sexual abuse material. And the app was subsequently restored after the developer promptly removed the content and banned the user who posted it. Now, so this is getting big. This is getting big, ladies and gentlemen. And it was briefly removed from the app. So, okay, so we are getting the confirmation also. Telegram was briefly removed from the App Store over child sexual abuse material. And we have been highlighting the fact that various social media platforms are being used for such content, and it needs to be highlighted. And this is the statement that has also come. Now, Telegram was briefly removed from the App Store over child sexual abuse material. And we briefly removed Telegram from the App Store after our review found content that violates our strict guidelines prohibiting child sexual abuse material. The app was subsequently restored after the developer promptly removed the content and banned the user who posted it, Apple tells US media. So this is the response that the Apple has given to US media. This is the latest response by Apple that is coming. So definitely violation of the guidelines as per the Apple that they want should be the guidelines, and there was a violation of the guidelines by Telegram.
Right. Thank you, Shivam, for giving us those detailed updates. This was banned because of child sexual abuse material, and now, of course, they've taken cognizance, and there are more details that you will be tracking for us. Thank you, Shivam, joining us from the newsroom. Right now, we are heading into a short commercial break. There's a world of news waiting for you on the other side. Coming up, Jharkhand students announce Assembly Gherao on the 10th of August, says protest will continue until all demands over the alleged exam irregularities are met after a short break.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाई जीरा से MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला।
अगर मैं जेनजी की भाषा को बोरो करूं, then I will have to say Modi ji clocked it and provided a legislative solution.
आपको समझ ना आए तो आप घर जाके गूगल पे आप सर्च कर लेना है क्या नारा है। वो नारा देते थे वास्ते गुने हुइयां, और वो नारा देते थे इतने प्यार से, इतनी खूबसूरत तरीके से इस्तीफा मांगते थे। कहते थे जब आपसे इस्तीफा भी मांगते थे तो कहते थे कुचू पुचू इस्तीफा दे दो, आज हमारा जन्मदिन है।
विपक्ष के आंदोलन को एक समराइज करना चाहूंगा मैं जेनजी के भाषा में। 37 दिन तक तो ये जंतर मंतर नहीं गए, तो इनको MIA हो गया। MIA क्या है? MIA मिसिंग इन एक्शन। तो 37 दिन तक हमने कुछ नहीं किया, तो कुछ तो करना चाहिए। जंतर मंतर तो नहीं जा सकते, तो हम जाते हैं प्रधानमंत्री जी के आवास के सामने और वहां पर जाके आंदोलन करते हैं।
So these are the three categories: student, idiot, and andhbhakt who follows the idiot. Now,
प्रश्न है कि खंड 2 से 5 विधेयकांग बने, जो सदस्य के पक्ष में हाँ गए, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना गए। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष हुआ। खंड 2 से 5 विधेयकांग बना। प्रश्न ये कि खंड 1 अधिनियम सूत्र और विधेयक का पूरा नाम विधेयकांग बने, जो सदस्य के पक्ष में हाँ गए, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना गए। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष हुआ। जिन लोगों ने विद्यार्थियों के भविष्य के साथ खिलवाड़ किया वे जेलों में सड़ रहे हैं। हमने मात्र एक कोर्ट बना।
अध्यक्ष जी, जहां पर कांग्रेस शासित यूपीए ने पॉलिसी वैक्यूम करा, वहीं पर अगर मैं जेनजी की भाषा को बोरो करूं, then I will have to say Modi ji clocked it and provided a legislative solution.
Headlines brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Good morning, viewers. Headlines for today. Pakistani forces continue firing at unarmed protesters in POK. Fresh visuals emerged from Muzaffarabad of Pakistani forces setting motorcycles on fire. Jharkhand students announce assembly gherav on August 10th. Say protests will continue until all demands over alleged exam irregularities are met. Agitating Jharkhand students begin an indefinite hunger strike today. Pressure mounts on Congress-backed government to act. Parliamentary panel demands stricter safeguards for Meta platforms, asks Mark Zuckerberg to personally apologize and take action against the person responsible for removing Prime Minister Modi's video.
We're not talking, when you ask me, no, we're not talking, I'll say it. But we are talking right now, we're talking, and we're talking at the request of Iran, backed by Saudi Arabia, backed by UAE, and backed by Qatar.
Trump says that talks with Iran are underway. Iran hits back saying that they have no intentions of negotiating. Now, Saeed Mohammad Marandi, Iran has said that Iran has no intention of negotiating with the Trump regime. Any act of aggression will be met with an overwhelming and decisive response from the Islamic Republic. As you see on the visuals on the screen, viewers, Mr. Modi, Prime Minister Modi has actually arrived. Now, this is for the NDA meet that's happening today. The Prime Minister is personally chairing this particular meet, and as you see on the visuals, you see the Prime Minister arriving. On his left, you see Mr. Kiran Rijiju. On his right, you see Mr. JP Nadda. And you see on the back, group of the top NDA ministers who've arrived in New Delhi, which is where the NDA meet is happening today. On your screen, you see the Prime Minister arriving. This is live at 9:33 a.m., which is for the NDA meet that's happening today. The Prime Minister flanked with JP Nadda on his right. On the left, you see Mr. Minister Kiran Rijiju as well. And this is basically the NDA MPs which are meeting for the weekly Mangal Milan strategy meeting. All right, coming back to the US-Iran war, Saeed Mohammad Marandi has said that Iran has no intentions of negotiating with the United States, specifically with the Trump regime, and has said that any act of aggression will be met with an overwhelming and decisive response from the Islamic Republic. Now, this comes amid reports of attacks on 3 vessels across the state, just across Oman.
अहंकार से प्रियंक खड़गे जी ने कहा कि ठीक है, पहले छात्रों को 25 दिन उपवास करने दो, 25 दिन का हंगर स्ट्राइक करने दो, फिर हम लाठीचार्ज करेंगे और उसके बाद मैं अपने रेजिग्नेशन के विषय में चिंता करूंगा। और इस पर अभी तक राहुल गांधी जी की चुप्पी है। और मैं दावे के साथ कहना चाहूंगा कि आज भी वो पार्लियामेंट शायद चलने नहीं देंगे। मगर यह जो डबल स्टैंडर्ड्स है कांग्रेस पार्टी का, मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे जी राज्यसभा में खड़े होकर उन्होंने घंटों भाषण दिया, अच्छी बात है, कम से कम चर्चा तो हुई। मगर जब उसी विषय पे जब उनके सुपुत्र कर्नाटक में इस प्रकार का बयान देते हैं जो कि इनसेंसिटिव है, अमानवीय है, उस पर मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे जी और कांग्रेस पार्टी, राहुल जी पूरी तरह से चुप है। आप देखिए, झारखंड में प्रत्येक दिन सोशल मीडिया के माध्यम से हजारों लाखों छात्र किस प्रकार से आंदोलन में हैं, वो आंदोलन कर रहे हैं, यह हम देख रहे हैं। और कांग्रेस पार्टी एक शब्द झारखंड में आंदोलन में बैठे छात्रों के पक्ष में बोलते नजर नहीं आ रही है, पार्लियामेंट में उस विषय को उठाते नजर नहीं आ रही है। एक तख्ती आपने देखा, कोई कांग्रेस का सांसद मकर द्वार पे झारखंड के एग्जाम को लेकर, जेपीएससी एग्जाम, जो 14वां जेपीएससी एग्जाम हुआ था, पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन का एग्जाम झारखंड का, जिसमें पेपर लीक हुई थी, उस विषय में एक तख्ती किसी भी कांग्रेसी के हाथों में देखा? किसी ने नहीं देखा, क्योंकि ये सिलेक्टिव आउटरीच है और इसके पीछे केवल राजनीतिक रोटी सेकने की चेष्टा कांग्रेस पार्टी की। आपको आश्चर्य होगा, मैं कुछ बिल्स का नाम लूंगा जो बिल पास हो गए हैं, लोकसभा में पास हो गए हैं, मगर उन पे 1 मिनट की भी चर्चा नहीं हुई है। पास होना अनिवार्य था क्योंकि जनता का कार्य है, चर्चा नहीं हुई। जनता अनभिज्ञ है कि इन बिलों में क्या है, इस कानून में क्या प्रावधान है, जनता को कैसे लाभान्वित किया जाएगा। कल ही मैं सदन में मौजूद था, वोटिंग होके पास हुआ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट नंबर ऑफ जजेस अमेंडमेंट बिल 2026। सुप्रीम कोर्ट के नंबर ऑफ जजेस को लेकर जो केस पेंडेंसी इत्यादि है, उसे कैसे समाप्त की जाए, ये इतना बड़ा रिफॉर्म देश लेके आ रही है, उससे कोई सरोकार नहीं है कांग्रेस पार्टी को और अपोजिशन को। और हम सब, भूल जाइए कि मैं प्रवक्ता हूं भारतीय जनता पार्टी का, मगर हिंदुस्तानी तो हूं। हम सबको यह सोचना चाहिए कि आखिरकार इतने बड़े मसले पर हिंदुस्तान में वार्ता जानी चाहिए कि नहीं, लोगों को यह विषय पता होना चाहिए कि नहीं। रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ बर्थ एंड डेथ अमेंडमेंट बिल 2026, कितने दिनों के अंदर बर्थ और डेथ रजिस्ट्रेशन होना चाहिए, अगर नहीं होगा तो उसका परिणाम क्या होगा। जन्म और मृत्यु ये निरंतर प्रोसेस है जो देश में और विश्व में चलता रहता है। उसको लेकर नागरिक अपने अधिकारों को किस प्रकार वो प्रयोग करें, क्या नया कानून आया, 1 मिनट की भी चर्चा नहीं होने दी कांग्रेस पार्टी और उनके अनुयायी दलों ने। क्या संदेश जा रहा है देश में? क्या यह विषय गंभीर है या नहीं है? कल निर्मला जी मौजूद थी, मेरे सामने ही चर्चा चल रही थी, उन्होंने इंट्रोड्यूस किया द बैंकर्स बुक एविडेंस बिल 2026। ये कितना बड़ा रिफॉर्म है। सभी का सरोकार बैंकिंग से है, मगर बैंकिंग से सरोकार रखने वाले भारत की जनता को द बैंकर बुक्स रिफॉर्म बिल के बारे में कोई चर्चा सुनने को नहीं मिलती है, क्योंकि वहां हुड़दंग मचा हुआ है। और हुड़दंग भी कैसा? अगर हुड़दंग के पीछे सबके तरीके होते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है कि हम ऑपोजिशन में नहीं थे, हम ऑपोजिशन में थे। हमने भी ऑपोजिशन के नाते जो अपना दायित्व था उसका निर्वहन किया, मगर ऑपोजिशन के नाते पूरे देश के साधु संतों का अपमान करना, साधु के वेश में आना, साधु को चोर दिखाना, श्रावण के महीने में जब हजारों लाखों लोग कांवड़ यात्रा में निकले हुए हैं, वैसे में आप साधुओं को चोर के रूप में दिखाना, साधुओं को घसीट घसीट के लेते हुए आप जा रहे हैं, वह भी देश के सबसे बड़े लोकतांत्रिक मंदिर के प्रांगण में। एक साधु को घसीटना, साधु को मारने की कोशिश करना, ये गांव गांव तक क्या खबर पहुंचाती है? कहीं ना कहीं ये अंतर मन के अंदर गांव में ये खबर पहुंचाती है कि सारे साधु चोर हैं। जो ऐसे कपड़े पहनते हैं वो चोर हैं, जो चंदन और टीका लगाते हैं, जो त्रिपुंड लगाते हैं, वो चोर हैं। चोरों को पकड़ो और उन्हें पीटो। क्या किसी भी धर्म में, यह तो सबका साथ, सबका विश्वास और सबका विकास का देश है, क्या किसी भी धर्म के धर्म गुरु के वेश में आकर इस प्रकार का प्रयोजन पार्लियामेंट के प्रांगण में किया जा सकता था क्या? आप सोचिए, केवल हिंदुस्तान नहीं, विश्व जल उठता अगर इस प्रकार से वेश बदल करके किसी और धर्म के धर्म गुरु को घसीटते हुए, पीटते हुए चोरों के रूप में दिखाया जाता। मगर आपने हिंदू धर्म का जो अपमान किया पार्लियामेंट के प्रांगण में, यह अक्षम्य है। समय बताएगा, रण अभी शेष है, समय बताएगा कि इसका नतीजा क्या होगा। मैं सिर्फ आज इतना ही कहना चाहता हूं, चाहे मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे के अहंकार के बोल हो, चाहे झारखंड के छात्रों की अनसुनी आवाज हो और उसको सिलेक्टिव रूप से ऑपोजिशन उठा रही हो, चाहे बिल्स पे कोई डिस्कशन नहीं होना, पार्लियामेंट में करोड़ों रुपए खर्च होने के बावजूद पार्लियामेंट को बंद रखना, या साधु संतों का अपमान हो, ये कहीं न कहीं हिंदुस्तान की वो दास्तां है जो सारे जनरेशन्स के लोग देख रहे हैं और सोच रहे हैं। और मैं आज बहुत विनम्रता के साथ कहता हूं, इसे गंभीरता से सोचिएगा और गंभीरता से इस पर विचार करिएगा। धन्यवाद। कोई प्रश्न हो तो अवश्य पूछिए। धन्यवाद।
Now, there you see on the screen, that was the BJP spokesperson, Samit Patra. He's criticized the Congress, which is, the opposition party basically, for not allowing any debate on Parliament in the current monsoon session. He specifically mentioned that there were some very key important bills that were raised, which were and actually passed, but they were passed without any actual material debate in Parliament. He specifically referred to the Bankers' Bill Amendment Bill, which was introduced in Parliament yesterday by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, and yet no major debate was allowed on that. He specifically referred to the other bills as well, such as the Vande Mataram Bill, as we call it, as well as the Public Examination Prevention of Unfair Means Amendment Bill 2026. And he mentioned that if you look at the bills that were passed, they were mainly passed just by voice note without any major debate happening in Parliament, because the opposition did not actually allow any actual debate to happen. He also mentioned and criticized the Congress specifically for its silence in Jharkhand on the ongoing protests in Jharkhand against the JPSC as well as the JSSC examinations, with respect to the protests that are ongoing for irregularities in both these examinations, and criticized the Congress for actually playing a double role where while they've And going back to the US-Iran conflict, we have a statement from Saeed Mohammad Marandi, who said Iran has no intention of negotiating with the Trump regime. He said that any act of aggression will be met with an overwhelming and decisive response from the Islamic Republic. Now remember, this comes after repeated attacks by Iran. We've just gotten news of 3 tankers being hit off the coast of Oman, where a couple of Iranian drones have hit these tankers. We have reports of attacks in Kuwait, where we see fires erupting in Kuwait, and these have apparently been again caused by Iranian drones originating from Iran. This, as Trump was actually parallelly briefing the media, and we recently saw statements from President Trump on the contrary, stating that talks with Iran are very much on, and he's spoken to the other Gulf countries as well, specifically mentioning Saudi prince there, and stating that the Saudi. Moving on, let's look at what's happening. Let's listen in to what President Trump had to say to the US media.
We're not talking, when you ask me, no, we're not talking, I'll say it. But we are talking right now, we're talking, and we're talking at the request of Iran, backed by Saudi Arabia, backed by UAE, and backed by Qatar in particular, but others also. Many countries called, the leaders of many are friendly with a lot of them, almost all of them, one way or the other, and they all wanted to give this a last chance. This is a last chance. This is not something that, if it doesn't happen, this is a last chance for them to sign a good document. If we're not talking, when you ask me, no, we're not talking, I'll say it. But we are talking right now, we're talking, and we're talking at the request of Iran, backed by Saudi Arabia, backed by UAE, and backed by Qatar in particular, but others also. Many countries called, the leaders of many are friendly with a lot of them, almost all of them, one way or the other, and they all wanted to give this a last chance. This is a last chance. This is not something that, if it doesn't happen, this is a last chance for them to sign a good document.
Now, there you have comments from President Trump stating that this would be the last chance for Iran. And while you see that probably there was an interjection by a member from the media asking whether Trump's talks were not actually happening, because remember, Iran has actually contradicted the US President Trump's claim, stating that no talks are underway, to which President Trump responded that no, if talks were not underway, I would have said talks are not underway. But he's again stated that talks are very much underway. He's also recently said that this is the last chance for Iran. This after he had actually threatened an attack as big as the World War II, an attack of the scale that had not been seen post-World War II. Now we have a special guest here, Mr. Arnab Bhaskar here. He's a geopolitical expert who's joining us for more details on this. Mr. Bhaskar, what do you make of the recent comments from President Trump? You know, on one hand, we have President Trump claiming that talks are very much on. On the other hand, you have Mr. Marandi, who's very close to the Iranian regime. He's, the ex-physician to, the late Iranian minister, the late Iranian supreme leader. He's the negotiator. He was part of the US-Iranian, nuclear deal. He was there. He said that, there have been no talks at all. What do you make of it?
Well, to understand this, you must understand that the US is desperate. It is desperate because of 2 reasons. Actually 3 reasons. One has begun to realize that fighting Iran and doing a landing on Iran is impossible. The terrain benefits Iran, and Iran has defended itself beautifully with underground passageways and what have you. Second is that suddenly the US is confronted with an enemy that gives it the option of having collateral damage which far exceeds whatever the US can do. For instance, the US was supposed to attack Iran on Sunday with a war, with ammunitions and with bombs much larger than what happened in the Second World War. On Sunday, nothing happened. The reason? On Saturday, Iran just sent out a message through Pakistan to USA, you touch us and we can tell you that these are the targets that we will attack. And almost every oil field in the Middle East was targeted. Every desalination plant in the Middle East was targeted. Now, please understand that while Iran depends on desalination for just 11% of its water needs, Kuwait, Bahrain, Israel, even Saudi depend more between 80% to 100% of the water on desalination plants. You destroy desalination plants and people can't live there anymore. The country's over. When the US saw the list of Iran, it decided not to bomb Iran at all. 3, and this is the crucial, and 3 is divided in 2 parts. The first part of 3 is that USA, in the wars of Ukraine and the war of the Middle East, has already expended 60% of its arsenal. It is left with only 40%, and that's part of strategic reserves which it has to keep to defend itself. It's fast running out of arsenal. That includes missiles, that includes bullets, that includes everything else. Now, when you run out of arsenal, you can't exhaust everything because then you're vulnerable to attack. The US wants to ramp up production, but to make arsenal, to make missiles, you need rare earths. And China has a chokehold on that as well. So effectively, the US does not have the capability of producing more and does not have the means to produce more. It's stuck. But there's another part of 3. And that is, when the US decided to fight this war, it thought it was a very comfortable position. It is the largest oil producer. But if you look at the oil reserves of America, it does not have reserves of more than 5 to 10 years. It is the lowest reserves among all the top 10 producers, which is why it was important for USA to annex Venezuela so that it could get oil, because its reserves are dying very quickly. And that is the reason why it wanted the oil of Iran as well. Remember, Iran is the only country in the Middle East which does not have US equity stakes. Qatar has Exxon and Chevron as equity partners. In Saudi, we've got BlackRock as equity partners. In almost every Middle East country, the US earns money from whatever oil they produce. In Iran, it does not have any equity partner from the US. And Iran has huge amounts of oil and gas. So he wanted to take the oil and gas. He couldn't. He failed. Now, that leads to the next problem. When you send the ships to blockade Iran, when your ships are on position, when you have planes flying along, you lose oil very quickly.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bhaskar, for joining us on this. Indeed, I think the conflict is something which we have to watch very carefully. And let's just hope it doesn't further escalate militarily, because that's going to be bad. We'll break for a short break now. And coming up on the other side, Pakistani forces continue firing at unarmed protesters in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Fresh visuals emerging from Muzaffarabad of Pakistani forces setting motorcycles on fire.
कुछ तो सस्ता लो,
सब बढ़िया लो।
इसमें क्या खास बात है?
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
In the India Today Best Universities Survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi, and National Law School Bengaluru.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट, ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
बेस्ट हरा बोर्ड दिखाना।
सबसे डिपेंडेबल सेंचुरी HDF प्रीमियम प्लस।
ट्रायल लूंगा।
श्योर। वाटर रेजिस्टेंट है, स्ट्रॉन्ग है। high density wood fiber structure, advanced German adhesive bonding, solid defense.
ट्रायल में पास।
सेंचुरी के 40 सालों का भरोसा, हरे बोर्ड का असली बॉस, सेंचुरी HDF प्रीमियम प्लस।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
We're going to hit them very hard. I mean, I can actually say that because there's very little they can do about it. It was a different group than we're dealing with. They've already apologized, but we got to smack them a little bit.
The United States has launched airstrikes on Iran hours after President Donald Trump warned Tehran of a strong military response. The strikes mark the first major American attack since Trump paused the bombing campaign last week.
All right, viewers, you're watching Republic Live. We will pause for a short break, and coming up on the other side, Pakistani forces continue firing at unarmed protesters in POK. Fresh visuals emerging from Muzaffarabad of the Pakistani forces setting motorcycles on fire.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
I wake up wearing someone else again. Don't let it slip. I'm losing. I don't wanna be safe anymore.
Finding myself. That's my moment of Sarah.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े।
चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
कुछ तो सस्ता लो,
सब बढ़िया लो।
इसमें क्या खास बात है?
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
अगर मैं जेनजी की भाषा को बोरो करूं, then I will have to say Modi ji clocked it and provided a legislative solution.
आपको समझ ना आए तो आप घर जाके गूगल पे आप सर्च कर लेना ये क्या नारा है। वो नारा देते थे वास्ते गुने हुइयां, और वो नारा देते थे इतने प्यार से, इतनी खूबसूरत तरीके से इस्तीफा मांगते थे। कहते थे जब आपसे इस्तीफा भी मांगते थे तो कहते थे कुचू पुचू इस्तीफा दे दो, आज हमारा जन्मदिन है।
विपक्ष के आंदोलन को एक समराइज करना चाहूंगा मैं जेनजी के भाषा में। 37 दिन तक तो ये जंतर मंतर नहीं गए, तो इनको MIA हो गया। MIA क्या है? MIA मिसिंग इन एक्शन। तो 37 दिन तक हमने कुछ नहीं किया, तो कुछ तो करना चाहिए। जंतर मंतर तो नहीं जा सकते, तो हम जाते हैं प्रधानमंत्री।
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Headlines brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
BJP hits back at opposition, states that the opposition is not discussing any issue and is only trying to block the parliament from functioning. Pakistani forces continue firing at unarmed protesters in POK. Fresh visuals emerge from Muzaffarabad of Pak forces setting motorcycles on fire and shooting at protesters. Jharkhand students announce assembly gherao on August 10th, say protests will continue until all demands over alleged exam irregularities are met. Agitating Jharkhand students begin an indefinite hunger strike today. Pressure mounts on Congress-backed government to act. Parliamentary panel demands stricter safeguards for Meta platforms, asks Mark Zuckerberg to personally apologize and take action against the person responsible for removing PM Modi's video.
When you ask me, no, we're not talking, I'll say it. But we are talking right now, we're talking. And we're talking at the request of Iran, backed by Saudi Arabia, backed by UAE, and backed by Qatar.
Trump says that talks with Iran are underway. Iran hits back, saying that they have no intentions of negotiating. All right, viewers, let's begin this bulletin with the big breaking news development. And the CDI conducted raids at 18 locations in connection with the JPSC irregularities case. Now, raids carried out at the premises of a coaching institute operator, middleman, and the alleged mastermind, Abhay Tiwari. The CID has taken into custody on remand Ramveer Singh, the director of Messrs TSR Data Processing Private Limited, the agency that conducted the JPSC exam. Now, Abhay Kumar Tiwari, alias Manoj Kumar Tiwari, marketing manager, and Usman programmer. Raids were conducted at the residence of Ravi Shankar Kumar at Site 5, Dhurva, Ranchi. Now, Ravi Shankar teaches at coaching institutes in Ranchi and Palamu. A raid was also conducted at the Namkum residence of Aditya Pandey, who is associated with the coaching institute in Ranchi. In Ranchi, Aditya Pandey's sister has also cleared the JPSC preliminary examination. A raid was carried out at the Sarai Dhela, Dhanbad flat of Aditya Pandey, a coaching institute operator. The CID detained Aditya Pandey from the location. So this is big breaking news development. The CID had conducted raids at 18 locations. Big breaking news development on your television screen. All right, viewers, now let's move on to another top story that we are tracking. Republic Media Network's editor-in-chief, Arnab Goswami, exposes the sharp contrast between the peaceful student demonstrations in Ranchi, Jharkhand, and political protests in Delhi. Now, thousands of students in Ranchi have been protesting for 10 straight days over JPSC paper leak allegations, holding the national flag, singing the national anthem, and demanding a fair examination. Now, Arnab questions why leader of the opposition, Rahul Gandhi, the Cockroach Janata Party, the CJP, and Sonam Wangchuk remain silent on Jharkhand's exam scandal, while calling out Congress leaders for labeling the peaceful Ranchi students as fake and RSS-driven. Listen into the nation's sharpest opinion.
Like hypocrites who they are, the Congress leaders have started attacking the students who are sitting on a peaceful protest in Ranchi. Tonight, I want you to look very closely at what's happening in Ranchi. And these are students who Rahul Gandhi's government is attacking, who the Congress are mocking. They are calling them BJP workers. What you're watching in Jharkhand is what a real student protest looks like. Thousands of young men and women. They are neither as filthy or as crime-infested as those who are sitting in Jantar Mantar. They are not brutalizing anyone. They are not attacking anyone. They are not threatening to burn the assembly. They are doing everything peacefully. And why are they on strike? Because under the Congress government in Jharkhand, there have been massive, massive wrongdoings in the Jharkhand Public Service Commission and the Jharkhand Staff Selection Commission examinations. There has been complete wrongdoing, massive corruption. And ladies and gentlemen, one would have expected that Rahul Baba or these CJP types or Sonam Wangchuk would have said something, but they haven't. Instead, they are calling them names. As 5,000 of them march through Ranchi, holding the Constitution of India in their hands and the tricolour above their heads, I want you to notice something. They are calm, they are peaceful, they are dignified, they are singing the national anthem. There is no vulgarity here, there is no abuse here, there is no attacking of policemen, there is no vandalizing of public property. They are not shouting anti-national slogans. They are not doing the tukre tukre Arundhati Roy kind of stuff. They are just saying, why under a Congress government are our exams rigged? Why under a Congress government is there no justice? Now these are genuine students. These are real students. And I say that deliberately tonight, but you will remember what I told you about the other gang. The CJP gang is that filthy, abusive, criminal-infested gang at Jantar Mantar in Delhi. See the contrast between the two. I told you then and I'm telling you now, watch the difference. In Jantar Mantar, you had perversity, perversion, vulgarity, attacks on security personnel. In Ranchi, you have children of farmers holding the constitution and asking for a fair exam. That is the difference between a manufactured, fake protest and a genuine one. Just hear this student.
हम तो अपना अधिकार मांग रहे हैं, नौकरी थोड़ी मांग रहे हैं उनसे। हम तो कह रहे हैं सिस्टम में पारदर्शिता होनी चाहिए, अकाउंटेबिलिटी होनी चाहिए। सरकार तक पहुंचाइए आप लोग। इस सिस्टम में जो लोग भी शामिल हैं, उन सबको कड़ी से कड़ी सजा मिले ताकि आने वाली हमारी युवा पीढ़ी उनको ये संदेश मिले कि सिस्टम अंदर से सही हो गया।
So where is Rahul Gandhi tonight? Completely missing. Where is the CJP tonight? Nowhere to be seen. For 10 days, 10 whole days, Rahul Gandhi has finger on his lips. His lips are sealed. The leader of the opposition has been completely silent. Priyanka Vadra, Yogendra Yadav, the Congress power structure, not one word, not one tweet, not one visit. And remember, this is the same Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Vadra, who boasted that he has been fighting paper leaks for 2 years. 2 years. But when the students of Ranchi tag him, tweet him, when they beg him to look at them, Yogendra Yadav tells Rahul Gandhi, no need to care. Because this is a Congress state, you can do what the hell you want. We don't have to be crusaders here. Why? I'll tell you why. Because in Jharkhand, the government is in the dock of his own. It is a Congress JMM government. Paper leak is identical, pain is identical. Only the accused has changed. And Rahul Gandhi's and Yogendra Yadav's conscience has gone quiet. And where are the cockroaches? Where are the cockroaches? Where is Dipke? Where is Ranka? Where is posh party boy Das? Where is posh, very posh, where is posh party boy Das tonight? Maybe partying away somewhere. He doesn't have the time. His job is done. He can go back to his fancy, expensive life. Where is AAP activist Ranka? He's going to go back to being a sycophant of Arvind Kejriwal. Where is deep state Dipke? Nowhere to be seen. He's going to say, I'm still suffering from typhoid. These people who profited at Jantar Mantar for weeks, when now these students are calling them and saying, please come to Jharkhand. You know what they say? We'll do a video call with you. Be happy. Our involvement is a video call so that nobody says we're not involved. A 30-second video call is all the students get. Where is Wangchuk? Nowhere. Wangchuk has started praising the government, is praising the Indian Railways. Good. The Indian Railways has done a good job, which is why he said, it's a beautiful experience traveling on the Indian Railways. But while he's enjoying the luxuries of the Indian Railways, 10,000 students are sitting on the streets of Ranchi, deep state Dipke, party boy Das, and AAP member, AAP activist Ranka, their bosses Arvind Kejriwal, Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Vadra, Yogendra Yadav, not one word for the students. Not one word at all. In fact, Rahul Gandhi launched a complete attack on the students. Can you believe it? He says, through his leaders, he says, these are all fake RSS-driven BJP plants. Dear students protesting peacefully in Jharkhand, be strong. The Congress party has done a lot of injustice to you, but be strong. Rahul Gandhi is calling you a BJP plant, fake, RSS-driven. He's making his leaders attack you, but be strong. Be strong. Don't abuse, don't get violent like those all the perverts who were there out there in Jantar Mantar, stay strong and remember, every single day that Rahul Gandhi is quiet, not me, but the whole country is asking, is this what it was all about? Rahul Baba, Deep State Dipke, posh party boy Saurav Das, and AAP wannabe leader Ranka, you're all exposed like never before. Have some shame now.
All right, viewers, let's move on to the top story that we are tracking. Unarmed protesters gathered at Lal Chowk in the heart of Muzaffarabad, the capital of POK, the Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, which came under intense firing by Pakistani Rangers and Frontier Corps personnel at around 4:30 p.m. local time on Monday evening. Meanwhile, another video has emerged. Where the security personnel are setting fire, setting ablaze the civilian motorcycles in Makri, Muzaffarabad. So this is the continuity of the brutality, the brutal crackdown of the Pakistani terrorist regime against the peaceful protesters in POJK, where they are being shot at, they are being killed. There's shelling that is happening against innocent civilians, innocent protesters. Their homes are being bombarded and they are being shot at point blank range, and they are being beaten brutally. Children are being beaten brutally. Nobody is being spared in these protests that we are getting visuals of from POJK Muzaffarabad, and you can see clearly, you can understand the kind of situation in POJK, where this terrorist army of Pakistan, the terrorist regime of Pakistan, is setting the motorcycles of innocent civilians ablaze. They are setting it on fire, and later they will charge the protesters for vandalism, for arson and whatnot. You can clearly understand the kind of situation which is unfolding in POJK. It's part of India, illegally occupied by Pakistan, and these are the visuals, horrifying visuals coming in from POJK, where the protesters are being shot at. We'll go across to those visuals also, and if we have some audio on that, we'll go to the audio also so you can understand the kind of situation. Let's go to the audio and listen in to the kind of atrocities that are happening, where protesters are being shot at and shelling is happening.
देखें लगातार यहाँ पे फायरिंग हो रही है। ये मुजफ्फराबाद की आपको हालत बता रहे हैं। ऊपर अदालत चौक है, ये मनाजिर है लगातार आपको दिखाई जा रहे हैं। और ये पुलिस की शेलिंग पे बगैरत के बच्चे लगातार फायरिंग कर रहे हैं। ये शेर फाइट कर रहे हैं, आप देख सकते हैं लाइव। और ये गोलियां लग चुकी है। ये देखें, ये सामने आपके ये गोलियां लग चुकी है। ये
बोलना POJK में
देखें, ये अपनी आवाम पे नियति है, आवाम पे ये लगातार फाइट कर रहे हैं। ये जख्मी इनको इसी टाइम इसको एक को गोली लग गई है। ये देखें लगातार इनके बगैरतों के काम, ये यजीद की नस्ल के काम देखें।
Visuals coming in from POJK. This is Pakistan's oppression in POJK. Protesters are being attacked, motorcycles are being set ablaze, and tear gas is being fired at innocent protesters. You can see the visuals, the horrifying visuals coming in from POJK, where protesters are being shot at. Many have been killed in these ongoing protests. The foreign media has been blocked by the brutal Pakistani regime, which doesn't want the truth to come out in the open. And this is what we're getting, the visuals. And this is what they want to block. They want to block the reportage of foreign media channels when they want to highlight the reality, to showcase the reality, the real situation in POJK, where Pakistani army is setting motorcycles ablaze. Protesters are being shot at, they are being killed, tear gas is being fired. Let's go across to the videos that we have got from POJK, and this is the first video we have is from Muzaffarabad, where unarmed protesters gathered at Lal Chowk in the heart of Muzaffarabad. And the protesters came under intense firing by Pakistani Rangers and Frontier Corps personnel at around 4:30 p.m. on Monday. Let's listen into the Nats, the audio.
ये यजीद की नस्ल के काम देखे, ये अपनी आवाम पे देखे, लगातार यहाँ पे फायरिंग हो रही है। ये मुजफ्फराबाद की आपको हालत बता रहे हो, ऊपर अदालत चौक के ये मनाजिर है, लगातार आपको दिखाई जा रहे हो। ये पुलिस की सेलिंग बगैरत के बच्चे लगातार फायरिंग कर रहे हैं, ये शेर फाइट कर रहे हैं, आप देख सकते हैं।
All right, we have a second video also coming in from Muzaffarabad, where the JEC has claimed, and it's evident, it's clear, there's visual evidence for that the Pakistani forces are setting on fire the civilian motorcycles in the area of Makri. It is not just the people who are being massacred, their belongings are also being destroyed by the brutal Pakistani army, the terrorist Pakistani army, in an effort to cripple the people and to destroy their homes, to destroy their economy, to destroy their property. And this is what they are up to. Let's go across to another video that we have for you. And this is the latest visual that we have got. Fresh visuals have emerged from Bagh in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, where Pakistani army rangers resorted to using tear gas and opening fire against unarmed civilians in the area. Let's listen in to the brutality and watch the brutality. All right, let's go across to Zenith for all the latest updates, because we're getting these visuals, exclusive visuals from POJK. Zenith, it highlights the brutality of the terrorist regime, the Pakistani army, the rangers, the police. All of them are shooting at innocent civilians. And it needs to be highlighted that that's part of India. And it has been illegally occupied by Pakistan. And they are killing them. These are our people who are dying on that side, in POK, in the POJK, Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir.
It's Pak operation in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, where we see the unarmed civilians getting killed, brutal attacks taking place, the atrocities that Pak army is committing on its own soil. We see the N number of people on road. They are sloganeering, marching towards the Pakistan administration in Islamabad, Pindi area. The firing, the tear smoke shells, the canisters being used to disperse the crowd, and hundreds of people so far have lost their life, though the final number has not come out because of the clampdown on the media, clampdown on internet, clampdown on communication. They're not allowing even the foreign media to cover it. That tells you the situation is really volatile, and it's an unfortunate thing where the youngsters are getting killed for the basic rights, for the basic demands of food, electricity, jobs.
But Zenith, they're also setting the motorcycles ablaze. They are setting the motorcycles ablaze. They're destroying public property. And you can clearly understand that later they will blame them, that you have done arson, that you have done vandalism. You can understand the whole propaganda. They're blocking foreign channels. Foreign channels are being blocked from doing reporting in POJK. So you can understand that the numbers that are coming out of people being killed, there might be a lot more of what's happening on ground. These are just few visuals which we have collected.
This is a little ice drop that we see on the ground, because the actual communication or the actual visuals are not coming out to tell how the atrocities are being committed by Pakistan against the citizens. Then the motorcycles, no motorbike setup being blazed there, the property is getting damaged, the public infrastructure getting damaged, the private infrastructure getting damaged. This all tells you that how the Pakistan is blazing guns on the unarmed civilians. Because when we see what is happening in Pakistan, this is the same visual that we have seen in Kashmir in the last 35 or 37 years now, when the people would get unarmed, killed, the unidentified gunmen would barge into your home and they would kill, and then it was more like unidentified gunmen. We have seen the infiltration, the Pak pushing the Pak infiltrators inside the Indian borders, they getting neutralized. Even the young girls would get orphan. So what they have sown here in 90s, now they are harvesting the root. They are harvesting those fruits at their own place. This is karma, a bitch that comes back to you, because the way you used to kill people here, unarmed citizens here, now you are killing your own people there. And now terror organizations have also been saying that 30 terrorists of the LET have been killed recently. Who are those terrorists? Because Pakistan has been every time telling that they don't support the terrorism on this soil. They have nothing to do with it. But now the Lashkar raising the voice from
right on point, Zenith. Well highlighted that the point. The karma hits back, and when it hits back, and this is the situation, but we hope that the protesters are safe and the brutality ends and Pakistan disintegrates into many portions, because they have occupied not just the Kashmir part, Jammu and Kashmir part, but also Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and other regions also that will disintegrate very soon. Thanks a lot for all the updates, Zenith. Keep a track of all the developments. All right, viewers, now it's time to slip into a short commercial break, but don't go anywhere because we have a lot more lined up for you. Coming up after the break, BJP hits back at opposition, states that the opposition is not discussing any issue and is only trying to block the parliament from functioning.
Our Pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
बेस्ट हरा बोर्ड दिखाना। सबसे डिपेंडेबल सेंचुरी HDF प्रीमियम प्लस।
ट्रायल लूंगा।
श्योर।
वाटर रेजिस्टेंट
है।
स्ट्रॉन्ग
है। हाई डेंसिटी वुड फाइबर स्ट्रक्चर, एडवांस जर्मन एडहेसिव बॉन्डिंग, सॉलिड डिफेंस।
ट्रायल में पास।
सेंचुरी के 40 सालों का भरोसा, हरे बोर्ड का असली बॉस। सेंचुरी HDF प्रीमियम प्लस।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?